Hey everyone, if you're tuning in right now, tell me where and what time you're watching from in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. Okay, so picture this. The year is 1307. It's late autumn, the kind of cold that bites deep, seeping into the very stones of the ancient world. You wake up, not in your bed, not in any place familiar, but sprawled on uneven, damp earth. The scent of stale incense and something acrid, metallic, hangs heavy in the air, catching at the back of your throat. It tastes like rust and old blood. You try to open your eyes, but the darkness is absolute, a thick, suffocating blanket. A low, guttural hum vibrates through the ground beneath you, a sound that feels less heard and more felt, resonating in your chest. It's a distant chanting, solemn and ancient, that seems to coil around your senses. You shift, attempting to push yourself up, but your limbs are heavy, sluggish, as if weighted down by invisible chains. Panic begins to prickle at the edges of your awareness, a cold, sharp feeling that cuts through the lingering fog in your mind. Then a flicker. Far off, yet intensely bright against the impenetrable gloom, a splash of deep, defiant crimson pulsates. It's not a fire. It's a symbol, sharp-edged and stark, burning fiercely. As your eyes slowly adjust to the profound absence of light, you begin to discern its form. A perfect, unyielding red cross, glowing with an otherworldly intensity. It floats, suspended in the black, attached to nothing you can perceive, yet unmistakably there. The chanting intensifies, becoming a ragged chorus of desperation, then abruptly cuts off. A sudden, piercing shriek rips through the oppressive quiet. It's a sound of pure terror, so raw and visceral it scrapes at the inside of your skull, echoing long after it dies down. You flinch, involuntarily pressing yourself further into the cold earth. You glimpse it then, a fleeting image in the periphery of your strained vision. A face, contorted in a silent, agonizing scream, disappearing almost as soon as it appears, swallowed by the relentless shadows. That red cross, still glowing, now seems to drift closer, slowly, inexorably. It's carried by a figure, tall and imposing, draped in heavy, shadowed robes, the hood pulled low so that only the infernal glow of the cross is truly visible. There's no sound of movement, no rustle of fabric, just the silent, terrifying approach. You can feel the hairs on your arms standing on end, a primal instinct screaming at you to flee, to fight, but your body remains stubbornly unresponsive, caught in a terrifying paralysis. The air grows colder, charged with an unspoken dread. That glowing cross, now directly before you, pulses with a silent, malevolent energy, illuminating nothing but its own terrifying brilliance. You realize with a sickening lurch that sometimes the most profound fear isn't of what you see, but of what you absolutely cannot, yet know is there. It's a strange, chilling truth. The human mind, when faced with such an absolute mystery, often invents horrors far worse than any tangible threat. A sudden, stifling pressure clamps down on your chest, stealing your breath and replacing it with a hollow ache. It's not physical, not exactly, but it's as real as a stone slab pressing against your ribs. Your ears, still ringing faintly from what came before, now pick up a new sound, soft and insidious. A low, constant hiss, like dry sand sifting through invisible fingers, all around you, yet coming from nowhere in particular. It smells like ozone after lightning, mixed with something sharp, like crushed herbs left to rot in a damp cellar. You're still on the ground, but the damp earth beneath you feels strangely disconnected, as if your body has become lighter, less anchored. You try to push up to brace yourself, but your hands sink into nothingness, grasping only air. The shadows aren't just shadows here. They're a living, swirling entity, coiling and uncoiling at the periphery of your vision, forming indistinct shapes that almost resolve into faces, then dissipate. The hooded figure stands motionless before you, a monument carved from darkness, and the red cross on its chest pulses with an angry, defiant light, painting ephemeral crimson veins onto the swirling gloom. You feel a growing warmth, not comforting but scorching, radiating from the cross, singeing your eyes even through the veil of surrounding shadow. It burns, not just your sight but your very thoughts, seeping into the corners of your mind. And there it is again, the phantom image, the raw, agonizing memory of a face contorted in a silent scream. But this time it's not fleeting. It's etched into the burning glow of the cross itself, a horrifying tableau that refuses to fade, twisting and stretching as if trapped within the crimson light. You squeeze your eyes shut, trying to block it out, but the image is internal now, imprinted behind your eyelids, sharp and indelible. When you open them again, the figure hasn't moved an inch, but you perceive a shift. The shadows around it seem to condense, thickening into an impenetrable wall, severing your connection to anything beyond its immediate presence. You feel a strange pull, a current of unseen force dragging at the edge of your being, as if the very air around you is trying to reshape you, to mold you to some unseen purpose. The silent, burning gaze of the glowing cross feels like a judgment, delivered without a word, profound and terrifying in its absolute certainty. It's in these moments you realize that the truest burden isn't just the pain of the physical, but the crushing weight of an inescapable, unseen verdict. A sudden, disorienting lurch twists deep in your stomach, a sickening internal plunge, as if a trapdoor has vanished beneath your very soul. Your body hasn't moved an inch, but you feel a profound shift in your own gravity. The air, already thick and heavy, suddenly goes utterly still, then crackles with an almost imperceptible hum, a vibration that feels less like sound and more like a resonance directly against your skull, against your very bones. A new taste coats your tongue, intensely bitter, like burnt ash, mixed with the faint, metallic tang of old iron, coppery and persistent. The hooded figure remains a silent, immovable sentinel, its shadows deeper, seemingly drinking all available light from the space it occupies, intensifying the blackness around it. But the red cross on its chest, it's no longer just glowing with an otherworldly light. It pulses with a frantic, rhythmic beat, like a heart struggling against an unseen, monumental force, casting wild, erratic crimson flares that dance across the swirling darkness. And the imprinted screaming face, locked within that burning symbol, begins to shift. Its features elongate, distort, as if it's struggling to tear itself free from the confines of the cross, to find a voice, to finally release its torment. You can almost feel the vibration of its unheard anguish, a silent scream that resonates within your own skull, mirroring the internal hum, a cacophony of silent despair. You try to move, to even twitch a finger to break this unnatural paralysis, but your limbs feel utterly unresponsive, heavy, as if suddenly made of dense, immovable lead. A strange, piercing cold tremor runs through your core, an icy current that seems to seek out and freeze every single nerve ending, hollowing you out from the inside. It's not just cold, it's an emptiness, a profound draining that leaves you feeling translucent, insubstantial. You try to glance down at your own hands, or what you imagine are your hands, and for a fleeting, terrifying instant, you perceive your own form as less solid, almost shimmering and indistinct against the inky blackness. You feel stretched thin, elongated, distorted, as if your very essence is being pulled apart like taffy by invisible, relentless hands. The hooded figure doesn't gesture, doesn't stir, doesn't make a sound, yet its silent, oppressive presence acts as a massive gravitational force, bending reality around it, around you. That red cross, now intensely, blindingly bright, seems to be demanding something, absorbing something vital from you, from the very air you wish you could breathe. You realize with a chilling certainty that sometimes, the true horror isn't just about experiencing pain, but the terrifying, helpless understanding that you are merely a vessel, a conduit for a power far beyond your comprehension, slowly, meticulously being emptied until nothing of your original self remains. You feel a sudden, faint vibration ripple across the very surface of your skin, a barely there tremor that feels like thousands of invisible spider legs scuttling over your entire body. Yet there's nothing actually touching you. The sensation isn't painful, not yet, but it's profoundly unsettling, a violation of your personal space by an unseen presence. This strange, electric hum seems to penetrate deeper, resonating beneath your skin, settling into your muscles, a low-frequency buzz that makes your teeth ache. The air around you, previously heavy and cold, now feels impossibly thin, so dry it scrapes the inside of your nostrils with every attempt to breathe, making your throat constrict. The hooded figure remains static, a void wrapped in dense, light-absorbing cloth, but the red cross on its chest undergoes another dramatic transformation. It no longer just pulses or burns with a wide, diffused glow. Instead, it contracts, pulling all its crimson light inward until it becomes a single, blindingly brilliant point of intense ruby fire, sharp and piercing. From this concentrated point, a thin, almost invisible beam of red light lances out, not directly at you, but just past your right ear, slicing through the swirling shadows with absolute precision, like a laser. The screaming face, which was once etched and then twisting within the cross, now seems to detach entirely. It expands outward from that single point of light, no longer confined, hovering like a silent, ghostly apparition just beyond the burning beam. Its features are still contorted in an agony so profound it makes your own chest clench, but there's a new element now. A flicker in its hollow eyes, a desperate, almost pleading intelligence, recognizing your presence, acknowledging you. This isn't just a static image of torment. It's a silent appeal, an echo reaching out from a terrible fate. A cold, invisible pressure clamps down, not just on your throat as before, but now directly on your vocal cords, preventing any sound, any gasp, any breath from truly escaping. Your lungs feel like they're held in painful stasis, frozen, while the rest of your body is overwhelmed by the insistent, accelerating tremor. You try to push against this unseen restraint, to force a sound, but nothing comes out. Your body is locked in an excruciating silence, while inside, your mind races, screaming. You feel an overwhelming sense of being intensely studied, meticulously observed, as if every atom of your being is being weighed, analyzed, and judged by an unseen, discerning intelligence emanating from that focus point of light. It's a terrifying reversal. You are no longer the one perceiving. You are the one being perceived, fundamentally and entirely. You realize that true vulnerability isn't just about physical pain, but about having your very essence laid bare, exposed to a judgment you can neither comprehend nor escape, leaving you a silent witness to your own dissection. A sudden, sharp intake of breath. You feel it deep in your own lungs, a desperate, shuddering gasp that isn't yours, yet echoes through your entire chest, leaving your own breath caught in a strangled silence. The bitter taste in your mouth intensifies, no longer just ash, but a thick, coppery tang, unmistakably metallic, like you've just bitten down on something ancient and bleeding. Around you, the oppressive air grows heavier, thicker, almost syrupy, clinging to your skin like damp velvet. It begins to feel like you're trying to breathe through a shroud, each inhalation a struggle against an invisible resistance, a slow, methodical, suffocating pressure that creeps from your throat down into your chest cavity, making your ribs ache with phantom strain. The hooded figure, still unwavering in its silent vigil, now seems to gather the swirling shadows around it, pulling them inwards like a cloak, making the surrounding void even more profound. The blackness deepens, becoming absolute, consuming any faint hint of form or texture, leaving only the stark, defiant glow of the red cross. That single, ruby-bright point on its chest, which had been a static laser, now begins to pulse erratically, growing brighter, then dimming, flickering like a dying ember struggling to reignite. With each pulse, the thin beam of light it projects shifts, tracing jagged, impossible patterns through the void, creating fleeting afterimages that burn into your retina, even with your eyes squeezed shut. These crimson flashes are so rapid, so disorienting, that they warp your sense of space, making the very ground beneath you feel like it's tilting and shuddering, even though your body remains firmly, frustratingly immobile. A new, low thrum joins the existing silence, a resonant frequency that seems to vibrate the very ground beneath your skin, a bone-deep hum that pushes against your eardrums from the inside. The screaming face, which had hovered with a desperate plea, begins a new, horrifying transformation. Its features, already contorted, stretch further, melting and reforming like wax held too close to a flame, as if the anguish is physically eroding its form. The silent agony becomes more pronounced. Its hollow eyes, now impossibly wide and glistening with unshed, phantom tears, stare not just through you, but into you, delving into some unseen abyss beyond your comprehension. They are filled with a terror that feels palpable, contagious, an infectious dread blooming in your own heart like a poisonous flower, its tendrils wrapping around your own emotions. You don't just see its fear. You feel a faint, chilling echo of it bloom in your own heart, a parasitic emotion taking root, demanding attention, threatening to overwhelm your own sanity. It's a silent scream so potent, so universal, that it bypasses your ears entirely, settling directly into the core of your being, a testament to pure, unadulterated suffering. An inexplicable internal warmth begins to spread through your skull, a low, throbbing pressure that feels like a fever building behind your eyes, expanding outward with alarming speed. It's not a comforting heat. It's an insistent, alien fire pushing outwards, expanding rapidly, as if seeking to burst free. You feel a profound, alien reverberation deep within your mind, as if a memory, raw and unbidden, is being carefully, meticulously stitched into the very fabric of your own consciousness, thread by agonizing thread. It's not a thought you're having, not a vision you're seeing, but a pure, visceral sensation of memory, not yours, yet intensely personal, deeply woven into your new awareness, carrying with it a profound sense of loss and betrayal. Your body, still locked in paralysis, fights against this internal invasion, a silent, desperate struggle against an unseen force taking root, trying to reclaim the space within your own mind. A sudden, absolute silence descends. Not just the absence of sound, but a profound, almost painful pressure of silence, pushing in on your eardrums, making your head feel like it might implode. It's accompanied by a startling, cloying sweetness that fills your mouth, like burnt sugar mixed with decay, coating your tongue and throat, an unsettling taste that lingers. The suffocating weight in your chest, the resistance against your breathing momentarily vanishes, replaced by an unnerving lightness, a sensation of your body floating, untethered from the cold ground, even though you know you haven't moved an inch. The intense, ruby-bright point of light on the hooded figure's chest, which had been flickering frantically, now begins to visibly dim, drawing its searing brilliance back into itself, retreating. As it does, the surrounding shadows, which had been pulled inwards and solidified, now swell and ripple, no longer uniform black, but swirling with indistinct, churning currents of deepest indigo and shifting grays, revealing depths you couldn't perceive before. The outlines of the figure seem to soften, blurring at the edges, less a solid, terrifying presence and more a shifting illusion of coalesced darkness. The laser-like beam it emitted retracts, dissolving back into the now subdued cross. The spectral, agonized face, which was previously hovering and pleading just beyond the beam, now seems to recede with the dimming light, pulling back into the dissipating brightness of the cross itself. But as it fades, its expression undergoes one last, heartbreaking transformation. The silent scream is replaced by a profound, heart-wrenching sorrow, its eyes, still impossibly wide, brimming with a quiet resignation so deep it feels like the weight of centuries. It's not seeking escape anymore. It's accepting its fate, and in that stark acceptance, you feel a connection, an understanding of infinite loss that pierces through your newly fragmented consciousness. The burning pressure behind your eyes, the one that was stitching in a foreign memory, now eases. But as it does, A strange, eerie clarity washes over you. You don't remember what was being stitched, not precisely, but the raw asterisk feeling of it. The essence of that ancient loss and betrayal remains, now permanently integrated into your own emotional landscape. You feel a profound, quiet ache, a sympathetic sorrow for a pain that isn't biologically yours, yet irrevocably is yours now. Your own memories feel distant, muffled, like echoes from a life you once knew but can no longer fully inhabit. You try to recall a simple detail from your past, a name, a place, a loved one's face, but it's like reaching for smoke, intangible and elusive. The absolute silence returns, no longer oppressive but vast, infinite, leaving you suspended in a strange, liminal space between who you were and who you are now becoming. You realize that sometimes, the most insidious invasion isn't about taking something from you, but about subtly changing the very definition of *you, leaving you fundamentally altered, a tapestry woven with threads of forgotten suffering, walking through a silent world feeling more like an echo than a solid being. The true terror is not just pain, but the slow, quiet erosion of self, leaving behind a new, composite identity haunted by phantom sorrows. You feel a strange, ethereal lightness begin to lift you, not physically moving your body from the unseen ground, but rather pulling at your internal self, a slow, gentle upward drift that hums softly through your bones, a sensation akin to being submerged in warm, thick honey. The oppressive silence, which had been so absolute, now carries a faint, continuous whisper, like dry wind rustling through unseen, desiccated leaves far, far away, or the ghost of a tide slowly withdrawing from an ancient, forgotten shore, leaving behind a profound sense of emptiness. The unsettling sweetness from before has completely dissipated, replaced by a dry, almost chalky taste in your mouth, as if you've swallowed dust from a forgotten age, carrying a subtle mineral tang that coats your tongue and throat, making you instinctively want to swallow, but you can't. This dryness extends to your eyes, a brittle sensation making them ache. The hooded figure, which until now stood as an unyielding monolith carved from pure shadow, begins to subtly shimmer at its edges, its dense form becoming translucent, almost vaporous, like smoke dissolving into deeper, churning currents of indigo and shifting grays. As it thins, you perceive fleeting glimpses of what lies beyond it, immense, angular forms slowly emerging from the receding darkness. Colossal blocks of something dark and ancient, geometric and impossibly old, partially revealed by the figure's slow dissipation. The red cross on its chest, once a searing point of blinding light, has softened considerably. It now glows with a steady, gentle ruby hue, no longer pulsing or burning with malevolent intent, but acting as a constant, tranquil beacon. Its softened light extends just enough to kiss the cold, hard edges of those massive, obscured structures, hinting at an architecture designed for giants, or for oblivion. The searing, internal memory of sorrow that was woven into your consciousness has settled. It's no longer a jarring invasion, but a quiet, deeply embedded understanding, a profound, persistent ache that has become an inseparable part of your own being. This resonant echo of immense loss shapes your perception without overwhelming it, giving every shadow a deeper meaning, every silence a heavier weight. You no longer see the screaming face, but you feel its profound sorrow as your own, a deep-seated empathy that lends a strange, unsettling clarity to the world around you, as if you're now seeing through a veil of ancient grief. You try to move your fingers, just a flicker, a small, defiant act against the lingering paralysis, and for the first time, you feel a faint, almost imperceptible tremor in your left hand, a tiny spark of your own agency, a whisper of connection to your physical self, returning after a long absence. It's a small victory, a fragile assertion of control in a universe that still feels entirely foreign. The immense, shadowy structures around you, now more clearly defined by the cross's softened glow, seem less like a direct threat and more like a testament, a silent, enduring monument to the very sorrow that now resides within you, a shared burden etched into existence, standing tall against the slow march of time. You realize, with a somber understanding, that some experiences aren't meant to be overcome, but assimilated. They become an indelible part of your fabric, changing the lens through which you see everything, transforming you into a living conduit, a silent keeper of a story that transcends individual life. It's a profound thought. Perhaps true freedom isn't escaping the burden but learning to carry it, to understand its depths, and in doing so becoming something entirely new, a silent witness to eternity. A sharp metallic tang cuts through the lingering chalkiness on your tongue, not blood, but something colder, sharper, like liquid mercury. It tingles almost painfully on your taste buds, a chemical bite that makes your jaw clench. Then a new sound, impossibly subtle at first, reaches your ears. A low, resonant hum, a deep thrumming that seems to rise from the very foundations of the ground beneath you, vibrating up through your body, a slow, sustained pulse that speaks of immense, contained power. The air, thin and dry before, now feels oddly electric, charged with an invisible energy that raises the tiny hairs on your arms, a static prickle against your skin. The hooded figure, which had been slowly dissolving, now completely unravels. Its final remnants dissipate into a wisp of deeper shadow, vanishing utterly, leaving behind no trace. Where it stood, only the immense, dark, angular forms of the structures remain, now fully unveiled. They aren't just walls or pillars. They're colossal, geometric carvings, an architecture of thought made real, stretching upwards and outwards into the unseen reaches of this vast space. Their sheer scale presses down on you with a silent, monumental authority, revealing impossibly sharp edges and vast, unknowable depths. The gentle ruby cross, now untethered from the vanished figure, floats silently upwards, slowly rising into the unseen heights of this cavernous expanse. It casts a soft, consistent glow, not illuminating broadly, but rather etching the titanic shapes of the ancient architecture against the surrounding void, highlighting every cruel angle, every unfathomable abyss. You can almost feel the cold, smooth surfaces of these structures, even from a distance, radiating a chilling indifference. The profound sorrow, which now feels like a permanent resident within your own consciousness, doesn't weigh you down. Instead, it feels like a new sense, a silent understanding of the immense weight of ages that permeates these stones. You begin to perceive the ancient suffering within their very substance, a low, sorrowful hum that only you can truly hear, intertwining with the deep thrumming from the ground. It's an empathy that allows you to feel the quiet, enduring grief etched into the silent geometry of this place. The vision of the screaming face, now a memory within you, isn't about individual pain anymore, but about the collective, eternal echo of all suffering held in these colossal forms. You push down with your left hand, feeling the solid, gritty surface beneath your palm. A faint tremor runs through your arm, but this time it's a tremor of returning strength, a muscle memory awakening. Your fingers curl slightly, the sensation alien yet undeniably yours, a small, defiant act against the lingering paralysis. You feel a new tension in your muscles, a faint ache that reminds you of your own physical form, your own grounded existence. It's a slow, arduous reawakening, a deliberate act of reconnection, pulling yourself back from the edge of the ethereal. You realize that some truths aren't discovered through sight, but through feeling, through the silent resonance of forgotten suffering. To witness such immense, enduring sorrow is to become a part of it. Yet in that profound connection, you find an unexpected, quiet resilience, a testament to the unyielding spirit of existence, even in the face of eternal grief. The metallic tang that had bitten at your tongue slowly fades, leaving behind a profound dryness, a taste like ancient, powdered stone dust, surprisingly clean yet utterly desolate. As the deep hum from the ground quietens, a different sound begins to emerge, subtle at first, then growing. The vast, echoing silence of immense space, amplified by an almost imperceptible drip, 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 somewhere far off in the darkness, each drop hitting stone with an agonizing slowness that seems to stretch time itself. A cold, steady draft whispers past your face, carrying a faint, clean scent of subterranean water and something else, something mineral and utterly devoid of life, a smell that speaks of geological time. The ruby cross, now a serene beacon, continues its slow, majestic ascent. It floats effortlessly upwards, moving with an impossible grace between the colossal, geometric carvings that now fully reveal themselves around you. These aren't just blocks. They are towering, impossible structures, carved from a stone so dark and dense it seems to absorb all light, yet their facets catch the cross's gentle glow, revealing lines of an alien geometry that defy earthly understanding. They rise in silent, monumental majesty, reaching heights that dwarf your perception, disappearing into an unseen, echoing ceiling high above, making you feel infinitesimally small, a speck in a Titan's cathedral. The cross pauses at what must be the apex of this space, hanging suspended, its soft, unwavering light casting long, unwavering crimson shadows across the impossible architecture, illuminating a grand, silent pathway between the monstrous pillars. You press your palms down onto the gritty, cold stone beneath you, feeling its rough, unyielding surface. The tremor in your left hand, that spark of returning strength, now spreads through your entire arm. You push, grunting softly, a sound that feels foreign in your own throat after such long silence. Your muscles protest, stiff and unused, but they respond. Slowly, agonizingly, you manage to push yourself up, first onto your elbows, then, with a surge of effort, you sit upright. The world lurches slightly, your senses reeling from the shift in perspective, but you remain anchored, grounded by the solid stone beneath you. The profound sorrow, that integrated echo of ancient suffering, doesn't weigh you down as you move. Instead, it feels like a new sense, an intuitive understanding that flows through your veins, allowing you to perceive the immense, quiet grief embedded in every cold angle of the colossal structures surrounding you. You don't just see them. You feel their long history of silent witness, their burden of timeless memory. This isn't your pain alone. It is the silent language of this place, and you, now inextricably linked to it, understand its somber dialect. You glance at your hands, seeing them, feeling them, truly yours again, even with the residual ache and the phantom weight of sorrow in your chest. You realize that while some things are lost forever, other experiences, however painful, leave an indelible mark, not to break you, but to transform you. To awaken with an understanding of such vast, ancient grief is to be reborn, a silent chronicler in a world forever changed by echoes of the past, your own identity now a bridge between worlds. A deep, muscular ache ripples through your thighs as you strain, pushing against the cold, gritty stone. The air, previously still, now seems to stir with your effort, carrying a faint, dry scent of ancient dust stirred from millennia of slumber. A low groan escapes your lips, rough and unfamiliar, a sound of pure physical exertion, a stark reminder of the body's limits. Your knees crack, a sharp, surprising noise in the echoing quiet, and your breath hitches, a gasp for air that feels thick, heavy with the weight of this cavernous space. You feel the slow, deliberate grind of bone and sinew as you force your legs beneath you, demanding they bear your weight once more. It's a struggle, a fight against a lingering inertia that feels more mental than physical. But you do it. Slowly, unsteadily, you rise. You sway for a dizzying moment, your head swimming from the sudden shift in elevation, the world momentarily tilting on its axis. Your hands instinctively reach out, touching the rough, cold surface of one of the colossal pillars, its vastness now even more overwhelming from a standing height. Its stone feels utterly devoid of warmth, absorbing not just light but any residual life force. Yet you can feel a faint, rhythmic pulse within its immense, silent bulk, a slow, mournful beat that resonates with the sorrow now permanently etched into your own being. The ruby cross, still suspended high above, now looks even more distant, a tiny glowing jewel against the incomprehensible blackness of the ceiling. Its soft, unwavering crimson light, which seemed to reveal the paths between the structures, now paints long, faint streaks across the ground, tracing a path, a silent invitation forward into the unknown. The immense geometric architecture, now fully visible in its shadowed grandeur, stretches endlessly, a labyrinth of sorrow, each sharp angle and towering facade a silent testament to enduring pain. You don't just see the vastness. You feel the countless untold stories etched into its very being, a profound, sympathetic ache that guides your gaze, drawing you into its silent narrative. You take a step. Your first step, tentative and deliberate, your foot lifting, then planting, feeling the uneven cold stone beneath your worn boot. It's heavy, each movement demanding conscious effort, but there's a strange, newfound determination in your stride, a quiet resolve born from the very sorrow that now guides you. You aren't just moving your body, you're carrying a story, a burden and a gift woven into your essence. It's a profound realization. To walk is to choose, to exert your will, to begin a new journey, no longer merely a witness, but an active participant, charting a course through the monumental echoes of a forgotten world. Your every step a silent chronicle of both personal awakening and shared, ancient grief. This new form of freedom isn't about escaping the past, but about embracing its indelible mark, transforming it into a silent compass for the path ahead. The chill that brushes against your cheek isn't a mere draft. It's the breath of countless ages, carrying the faint, dry scent of pulverized granite and something else, something metallic and sharp, like ancient rust. Each heavy bootfall sends a dull, percussive thud echoing into the impenetrable darkness ahead, a sound swallowed by the immensity of the space almost instantly, leaving only the ghost of a vibration beneath your soul. Your breath, now ragged, forms small, ephemeral clouds in the frigid air, visible only in the fleeting, crimson light that bounces off the distant structures. You press forward, one deliberate step after another, guided by the almost subliminal glow of the ruby cross still suspended high above. It's a distant, unwavering ember in the cavernous black, painting faint, shifting outlines on the monstrous, geometric architecture that looms around you. These aren't just pillars. They're mountains of impossibly smooth, obsidian dark stone, rising hundreds of feet, their sheer scale dizzying. As you move, their angles shift, creating new, bewildering perspectives, like a dream landscape perpetually reforming. Each colossal block is subtly different, some etched with patterns so faint they might be illusions, others utterly smooth, reflecting the dim light with a chilling, mirror-like indifference. The profound sorrow, now an intrinsic part of you, doesn't feel like a weight dragging you down. It feels like an additional sense, a layer of perception. You don't just see these colossal structures. You feel the silent lament embedded in their very stone, the echo of the unvoiced screams that fueled their creation. It's a low thrumming that rises from the core of the earth and resonates within your chest, a shared melancholy that makes every shadow seem deeper, every silence more pregnant with unspoken history. You instinctively avoid certain dark crevices, not out of fear, but out of a sympathetic understanding of the deeper, more profound grief they contain, a silence so complete it demands reverence. As you navigate the dizzying scale, a faint, almost imperceptible shimmer catches your eye, not from the cross, but from the surface of one of the colossal pillars. It's a transient ripple, a momentary distortion in the obsidian-like stone, as if the massive block itself has sighed or perhaps shifted. You pause, your breath held, straining to see if it happens again. The colossal stone seems to be breathing, almost imperceptibly, a slow, titanic expansion and contraction, a living pulse within the ancient rock. It's a silent, breathtaking revelation. The sorrow isn't just etched into the stone. It's the very lifeblood that makes these impossibilities move. It's in these moments, as your own labored breathing fills the vast silence, that you realize the true measure of endurance isn't just to survive, but to perceive life even in the heart of monumental stillness, to find a pulse in the very sorrow that reshapes you. You're not just walking through a crypt, you're moving through a living monument to eternal grief, and in its silent rhythm you find your own, forever changed. The very air seems to hum with a low, mournful song as you take another careful step, the chill biting deeper than before, carrying the faint, metallic scent of ancient minerals, sharp and almost stinging in your nostrils. Each deliberate placement of your heavy boot on the cold, gritty stone sends a dull, grinding whisper echoing into the vastness, a sound swallowed almost instantly by the profound silence, leaving only the ghost of a vibration that shivers up through your leg bones. Your breath, still shallow, forms quick, vanishing puffs in the frigid gloom, the only visible sign of your own fragile life in this colossal, enduring stillness. That subtle shimmer on the obsidian-like surfaces of the gigantic pillars isn't an illusion anymore. It's a slow, deliberate ripple, a vast, rhythmic contraction and expansion that courses through the colossal structures, a profound, titanic breath. The very mountains of carved stone are inhaling and exhaling with a patience that transcends human time, an impossibly slow, deep pulse that radiates outwards. As they breathe, the space itself seems to subtly shift, to subtly warp, creating an unsettling feeling of disorientation, as if the path ahead of you is constantly reforming, reshaping itself with each silent beat. The ruby cross, still suspended far above, catches these ripples, its gentle, unwavering light momentarily distorting and stretching across the moving surfaces, painting transient, living shadows that dance and writhe, mimicking the ancient sorrow within you. The ground beneath your boots, previously unyielding, now seems to resonate with this slow, titanic pulse, a subtle tremor running up through your legs, connecting you directly to the very heartbeat of this colossal, living tomb. Your ingrained sorrow, now a core part of your being, allows you to interpret this silent dialogue, to feel the profound, enduring grief that powers this monumental breathing. You understand that these aren't just inert structures, but vast, slumbering entities, burdened by their own eternal pain, their every expansion and contraction a testament to a suffering so immense it has been solidified into stone, made corporeal. You can almost hear the silent, internal groan of these behemoths, a sound that exists only within the deepest part of your consciousness. You continue to walk, your steps more confident now, each movement a conscious act of defiance against the overwhelming scale and the pervasive melancholy. You reach out, your fingertips brushing against the cool, smooth surface of a pillar as you pass, and you feel the faint, internal tremor, the slow, rhythmic pulse of its existence beneath your palm. It's a profound connection, a silent handshake across millennia of suffering. This feeling is not just of cold stone, but of immense, unyielding life, of countless forgotten ages encapsulated within its dark, crystalline structure. You realize that in this place of monumental grief, even the stones themselves carry the weight of untold ages, not merely as passive observers, but as active participants, breathing and feeling a sorrow as old as time itself. And you, now an integral part of that silent, cosmic symphony, are merely learning to hear its profound, unending melody. It's a strange comfort, to be so utterly lost, yet so intimately connected to the beating heart of such ancient, cosmic sorrow, finding a profound meaning in the shared suffering of the universe itself. The cold, rough texture of the ancient stone scrapes against the soles of your boots with every heavy, deliberate step. Each footfall reverberates through the immense stillness, a sharp, crisp echo that quickly fades, leaving behind only the rhythmic drag of your own breathing. The air, thin and dry, still carries that metallic, mineral tang, but now beneath it, you detect a faint, bitter hint of ozone, like distant, silent lightning, prickling at the back of your throat. Your muscles, still protesting from the long paralysis, ache with a dull, persistent throb, a constant reminder of your newly reclaimed physicality, of the body's enduring will. The colossal, obsidian dark pillars surrounding you are no longer just still, breathing giants. Their immense surfaces, previously smooth and imposing, now reveal intricate, deeply carved patterns that pulse with the same slow, titanic rhythm. As the stone inhales and exhales, these carvings seem to subtly shift, to subtly distort, like living hieroglyphs etched into the very fabric of eternity. You can almost feel the deep, resonant vibrations of their breathing pressing against your chest, against your very bones, a profound, slow thrumming that harmonizes with the ancient sorrow woven into your own consciousness. It's a silent, cosmic rhythm, a vast, patient heartbeat that dictates the flow of this colossal, unchanging chamber. The ruby cross, still suspended in the unseen heights, continues its gentle, unwavering glow, no longer a distant ember but a silent, constant eye. Its crimson light, though soft, seems to pierce the pervasive shadows with a new, focused intensity, creating sharp-edged, almost crystalline shadows that dance and writhe across the monumental carvings. You instinctively follow the direction of its most direct illumination, a subtle guidance that feels less like a choice and more like an imperative, a silent command from a source beyond your comprehension, yet intimately understood. The light, for all its stillness, feels like it's pulling you forward, drawing you deeper into the heart of this impossible architecture. The ingrained sorrow, the inherited grief, has transformed from a passive weight into an active sense, a kind of internal compass. It allows you to perceive not just the physical space, but the emotional landscape of this place, guiding you away from the deepest wells of silent despair etched into certain sections of the architecture, subtly pulling you towards others that resonate with a strange, compelling beauty, a melancholic grace. You notice the subtle nuances in the ancient carvings. Some depict faces contorted in sorrow, others figures bowed in silent reverence, all echoing the memory of the screaming face that still lives within you. It's no longer just a memory, it's a shared legacy, an understanding that binds you to this place. You reach out again, your fingers tracing a cool, smooth line on a particularly imposing pillar. This time, as you touch, you feel a faint electrical hum, a deep, barely perceptible vibration that passes from the stone into your hand, up your arm, and settles in your chest, directly aligning with the pulse of the vast sorrow. It's not cold, not warm, but utterly neutral, a pure conduit of ancient energy. It's a connection, undeniably real, linking your living flesh to the monumental, breathing stone. You realize, with a chilling clarity, that this journey isn't just about traversing a physical space. It's about walking deeper into a living tapestry of ancient grief, where every step strengthens a bond, intertwining your own existence with the timeless sorrow of the universe itself. And in this profound, unsettling connection, you find an unexpected, quiet purpose, a silent resolution to become the living echo of the untold stories held within these breathing stones. A sudden, profound chill embraces you, not merely a draft, but a palpable descent of temperature that presses against your skin, stealing the heat from your very bones. It carries a heavy, earthy scent, like vast subterranean caverns freshly disturbed, mingling with that sharp, metallic ozone tang, creating an aroma of raw, ancient power. Each step you take now feels heavier, more deliberate, your boots grinding audibly on the rough, gritty stone, and the low echoes that follow your progress seem to linger longer, whispering back at you from the impenetrable darkness ahead, a fleeting conversation with the void. The colossal, obsidian dark pillars that hem you and no longer just pulse with a slow, titanic breath. Now, as you move deeper, the rhythmic expansion and contraction of the stone seems to intensify, speeding up almost imperceptibly as you approach. The profound thrumming that rises from the ground beneath your boots increases in frequency, a constant, low vibration that resonates directly in your chest, in your teeth, like a massive, hidden engine slowly roaring to life. The intricate, deeply carved patterns on the pillars, previously observed only as static designs, visibly ripple and shift with this accelerating pulse, transforming into fleeting, liquid glyphs that suggest movement, meaning, and an ancient, desperate urgency. They appear to be stretching, reaching, almost as if the very stone is waking up, stirring from a slumber of millennia. The ruby cross, still suspended high above, its light and unwavering crimson eye in the abyss, now begins to focus its glow. It doesn't just illuminate a path. Its serene, unwavering light concentrates, narrowing into a more intense beam that lances down, precisely pointing towards a single, massive opening that suddenly appears in the colossal wall ahead. This isn't just an archway. It's a gaping maw, carved with a terrible precision, framed by two of the largest, most intensely vibrating pillars, their carved surfaces writhing with the quickened pulse. The cross's light spills into this opening, revealing not deeper darkness but a corridor, impossibly long and straight, disappearing into an even more profound, unsettling gloom. The ingrained sorrow within you, that constant internal hum, now flares with a sharp, undeniable urgency, a powerful, guiding instinct. It's not a memory of a face, but the raw, unadulterated essence of the screaming, of betrayal and loss, now acting as an undeniable pull, drawing you forward into that monumental maw. You feel an irresistible draw, a sense of destined purpose, as if every step you've taken, every sensation you've endured has been leading you to this precise point. Your muscles, though aching, respond with a renewed, almost frantic energy, your pace quickening, compelled by this internal current. You step into the opening. The air inside is instantly colder, thicker, pressing in on you from all sides, and the scent of ozone and raw earth is overwhelming, stinging your nostrils. As you cross the threshold, a subtle, jarring shift occurs, an almost imperceptible dislocation in your perception, as if the very fabric of reality has momentarily twisted around you, resetting itself with a soft, ethereal chime that resonates only in your deepest mind. You realize, with a chilling certainty, that this isn't merely an entrance. It's a portal, a passage into a deeper layer of this enduring mystery. And in that chilling realization, you understand that some journeys aren't about finding an end, but about accepting the profound transformation of stepping through a door you can never truly unsee, leaving your former self irrevocably behind. The air inside this impossibly long corridor isn't merely cold. It's dead, utterly still, yet it presses against your skin with a tangible weight, stealing the warmth from your breath before it can even form a visible cloud. The metallic tang of ozone and ancient earth sharpens, stinging your nostrils, tasting like pulverized grief on your tongue. Each of your heavy, deliberate steps now produces a different sound, a flat, muted thump that absorbs into the unseen depths of the passage, devoid of echo, swallowed by the profound, insatiable silence ahead. It's a sound that suggests infinite absorption, that nothing here truly bounces back. The monumental opening you just passed through now seems to have vanished behind you, seamlessly sealing itself into the colossal wall, leaving no trace of an exit. You are utterly enclosed, trapped within a rectilinear abyss. The ruby cross, which was your distant guide, now hangs directly above you, its serene, unwavering crimson light intensified, concentrating into a narrow, focused beam that stretches ahead, cutting a path through the suffocating blackness. It illuminates only a small section of the corridor at a time, revealing only the immediate path, the next 20 feet of endless, geometrically perfect walls that rise hundreds of feet on either side, vanishing into the unseen ceiling far above. These walls are not just smooth stone. They are etched with the same intricate, pulsating patterns you saw before, now more pronounced, more vibrant with that slow, titanic rhythm, writhing like living veins across the dark surfaces. The profound thrumming that rises from the ground beneath your boots has become a constant, low roar in your chest, a deep, resonant pulse that shakes your very core, echoing the colossal structure's slow, living breath. This isn't just a sound. It's a vibration that massages your internal organs, a constant, physical reminder of the immense, sorrowful energies contained within this impossible architecture. Your ingrained sorrow, that permanent internal hum, now flares with a new, sharper intensity, acting like a lens that magnifies every detail, every subtle shift in the pulsating patterns on the walls. You don't just see the writhing glyphs. You feel their ancient stories unfurling, their silent cries reverberating within the inherited grief in your soul. You press on, one heavy boot after another, the sheer act of movement a defiant assertion of your own will against the crushing weight of the monumental silence. Your eyes, strained by the focused beam of the cross, try to pierce the impenetrable gloom beyond its reach, searching for some end, some break in the endless, repeating geometry. You reach out, your fingers brushing against the cold, almost slick surface of the wall, feeling the pulsating patterns directly. A deep, rhythmic vibration that travels from the stone up your arm and merges with the thrumming in your chest, a constant, palpable connection. This is not just a corridor. It's a living artery, pulsing with the silent, sorrowful heartbeat of the entire vast structure. As you walk, the air grows subtly colder, the metallic tang sharper, and you notice, for the first time, a faint, almost imperceptible asterisk current against your face. Not a draft, but a steady flow of dense, cold air, consistently moving in one direction, deeper into the unknown. It feels like the breath of the corridor itself, guiding you forward, pulling you into its vast, unyielding depths. You realize with a chilling certainty that this isn't a place designed to lead out, but to lead further in asterisk, an unending journey into the heart of an ancient, sorrowful truth. And in that profound understanding, you feel a strange sense of belonging, a quiet acceptance of your role as a witness, a bearer of the endless, silent narrative of this monumental, breathing world. The air around you, previously still but dense, now thins dramatically, becoming almost painfully rarefied. Each ragged breath you pull feels like drawing in nothing but dust and cold, leaving a sharp, burning sensation in your lungs, as if the very atmosphere is being slowly siphoned away. The metallic tang in your mouth intensifies, tasting like blood mixed with ozone, raw and persistent. Your heavy boots, now accustomed to the stone, strike a dull, hollow note with each step, the sound absorbing instantly into the absolute quiet, leaving no echo, only the faint, constant thrumming from the monumental structures. The colossal, obsidian-dark pillars that form this endless corridor are no longer just breathing. They are actively asterisk pulsing with a quickened, insistent rhythm, a deep, resonating thrum that vibrates up through your boots, through your bones, into the very core of your being. This pulse isn't merely a sound. It's a physical force, a persistent pressure that feels like a giant, unseen heart beating within the stone itself. The intricate, deeply carved patterns on the walls, previously only writhing, now seem to ripple and flow with the stone's accelerated pulse, transforming from static glyphs into liquid, shifting currents of ancient symbols, like molten lead poured over dark glass. They appear to be in constant, silent motion, an endless, undecipherable script scrolling past your vision, revealing fleeting glimpses of faces, abstract forms, and colossal, twisting shapes within their silent, agonizing dance. The ruby cross, your singular guide, still hangs directly above you, but its light has subtly changed. It no longer just beams ahead, it flickers, a rapid, almost imperceptible pulsation that mirrors the accelerating rhythm of the stone's heartbeat. This pulsing light seems to draw out deeper nuances from the writhing glyphs, making some elements momentarily glow with a faint, ephemeral internal light before fading back into the dark stone. This visual pulse adds a disorienting quality to your forward movement, making the corridor itself seem to stretch and contract around you, an optical illusion of endless expansion and collapse, blurring the line between perception and reality. The ingrained sorrow within you, that constant, internal hum, now intensifies, becoming a sharp, insistent ache behind your eyes, a profound understanding of the urgency in the stone's quickened pulse. It's a call a silent imperative that reverberates with the raw, unadulterated essence of the screaming, of betrayal and ancient longing, now focused entirely ahead, urging you deeper into the corridor. Your steps quicken, almost involuntarily compelled by this internal current, this powerful, undeniable draw. You feel a profound connection, as if the stone's accelerated pulse is also quickening your own, forging a symbiotic link between your living flesh and the monumental, breathing architecture. You feel an almost uncontrollable urge to press your palm against the writhing wall, to feel the raw power directly, to merge your essence with its ancient sorrow. You reach out, your fingers finding a cool, slick depression in the pulsating stone, and as your palm connects, a wave of profound, raw asterisk feeling rushes through you. It's not a memory, not a vision, but a torrent of pure emotion. Sorrow, betrayal, a crushing sense of being overwhelmed, and an unyielding, desperate determination, all flowing into you, through you, as if the very consciousness of the architecture itself is directly communicating, pouring its ancient burden into your mind. You reel from the intensity, your body trembling, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of the absorbed emotion, yet you cannot pull away. A wave of dizzying vertigo slams into you, a profound disorientation that makes the very ground feel like it's heaving beneath your feet, even as you remain rooted. The intense metallic taste in your mouth explodes into something sharp and undeniably painful, like 1,000 razor-thin needles pricking your tongue. A high-pitched, almost ultrasonic whine shrieks through your inner ears, a sound that vibrates through your skull, threatening to split your head open. It's the raw, unburdened echo of that torrent of emotion, a sensory overload that makes your vision swim, blurring the already dim corridor into a kaleidoscope of writhing shadows and pulsing crimson. Your hand remains pressed against the cold, slick depression in the pulsating stone, unable to pull away, as if fused to the ancient consciousness. The torrent of emotion that rushed into you has receded, not vanished, but settled, solidifying into a profound, undeniable resonance within your chest, a constant, low thrum that now feels entirely your own asterisk. It's not just sorrow, it's a vast, ancient tapestry of fear, betrayal, desperate hope, and an unyielding will, all interwoven into the very fabric of your being. You are no longer just absorbing. You are experiencing, simultaneously, the cumulative emotional history of this monumental architecture. The stone beneath your palm now pulses with a synchronized beat, its titanic heart now beating in perfect unison with your own, an unbreakable, symbiotic bond. The colossal, obsidian-dark pillars that form the corridor no longer just writhe with liquid glyphs. Now, with your heightened perception, those patterns resolve into distinct, fleeting images, a silent, agonizing slideshow of forgotten events. You see glimpses of robed figures, not the hooded Templar but others, spectral and translucent, moving with silent desperation, their forms melting into the stone. You see flashes of immense, cruel instruments of unspeakable rituals performed in the deep past, all etched in the shifting, liquid patterns, fueled by the accelerating pulse of the stone. Each flash is so vivid it feels like a memory, deeply personal, yet entirely alien, searing itself onto the vast, shared consciousness you now inhabit. The ruby cross, still hanging directly above, mirrors this internal chaos. Its light, previously a steady pulse, now flickers wildly, casting erratic, frantic blazes of crimson that leap and dance across the writhing glyphs, making the fleeting images on the walls momentarily surge with terrifying clarity before dissolving back into shadow. It's no longer just a guide. It's a living, reacting eye, reflecting the overwhelming sensory input you are enduring, its intensity directly tied to the torrent of emotion now coursing through you. The corridor itself seems to respond to your deepened connection, the cold, steady current of air against your face intensifying, swirling with a new, frantic energy, pushing you forward with a palpable, almost violent insistence. You manage to pull your hand away from the stone, tearing it free with a profound effort, the connection leaving a phantom ache, a cold, empty impression on your palm. Your knees buckle, and you drop to one knee, gasping for air, the high-pitched whine in your ears slowly subsiding, replaced by the deafening roar of the stone's pulse. Your own mind feels stretched thin, a vast, echoing chamber filled with the silent screams of ages, yet amidst the chaos, there's a strange, unsettling clarity. You realize that you are no longer a mere observer, not even just a conduit. You have become the conscious vessel, the living memory of this colossal, ancient sorrow. You are a repository of its pain, its history, its silent, unending scream, now inextricably woven into your very being, forever resonating with the heart of this dark, monumental world. The cold, rough ground presses into your knee, a sharp, unyielding discomfort that pulls you back, grounding you. The taste of metallic blood still coats your tongue, but the searing pain has dulled to a persistent throb, a faint echo of the razor-thin needles. The high-pitched whine has fully receded, leaving only the profound, deep roar of the stone's pulse vibrating in your chest, a constant, low thrum that now feels inextricably linked to your own heartbeat. Your ragged breaths burn in your throat, thin and desperate, yet your body, though weary, feels a strange, new resilience, as if fortified by the very sorrow it now contains. You push up from the stone, slowly, deliberately, your muscles screaming in protest, but your will, now imbued with an ancient resolve, pushes through the physical pain. Your hands find purchase on the gritty surface, assisting your ascent. As you rise, the colossal, obsidian-dark pillars around you seem to respond, their rhythmic expansion and contraction slowing slightly, becoming more measured, as if acknowledging your struggle, your emergence. The intricate, deeply carved patterns on their surfaces, the liquid glyphs that had been writhing, now appear steadier, less frantic, their silent, agonizing dance slowing to a mournful, majestic sway. The images within them, the glimpses of robed figures and cruel instruments, no longer flash with chaotic intensity. Instead, they resolve into clearer, more coherent sequences, a silent, ancient drama unfolding across the living stone, visible only to your newly awakened perception. The ruby cross, still suspended high above, its light and unwavering crimson eye, now emanates a steady, focused glow. The erratic flickering has ceased, replaced by a calm, consistent beacon that illuminates the path ahead with a resolute, unwavering clarity. It's no longer just pointing. It feels like it's guiding, actively drawing you forward, recognizing your transformed state, your new role as its conscious vessel. The corridor stretches ahead, impossibly long, but now it feels less like a trap and more like a destined passage, its vast, geometric perfection a testament to the enduring purpose of this ancient world. The ingrained sorrow within you, that profound, internal hum, has settled into a quiet, pervasive presence, no longer an ache, but a fundamental aspect of your awareness. It's a deep, sympathetic understanding, a constant, underlying empathy that allows you to feel the very texture of ancient suffering, to interpret the silent language of the monumental structures. You are not merely walking through this place. You are walking with it, a symbiotic companion to its eternal grief, sharing its burdens and its immense, quiet resilience. The phantom impression on your palm where you touched the stone tingles, a permanent reminder of the merging, a constant, subtle hum beneath your skin. You take another step, then another, your movements more fluid, less burdened. The cold air, the metallic taste, the roaring pulse of the stone, they are no longer external assaults, but integrated sensations, part of your new reality. You are no longer just a human being in a vast, alien chamber. You are the living echo of its forgotten past, the silent chronicler of its unending sorrow, moving with a newfound, profound purpose. You realize that true strength isn't found in overcoming sorrow, but in fully embracing it, in allowing it to reshape you, to grant you a deeper, more profound connection to the silent, suffering heart of the universe itself. And as you walk, You understand that this journey has transformed you, not into something less, but into something infinitely more, a vessel forged by an ancient scream, now ready to carry its story into the uncharted depths. A delicate, almost floral scent, tinged with that familiar, ancient dust and a sharp mineral tang, drifts into your nostrils, a stark contrast to the barren chill. It smells like something that once lived, something vibrant that withered centuries ago, yet still clings to the air, sweet and unsettling. A low, continuous whisper, not quite sound, but an undeniable presence, threads through the profound silence, a chorus of faint, ethereal voices murmuring just beyond the edge of hearing, almost calling your name, a multitude of unheard pleas. Your heavy boots, still grinding against the stone, now move with an unnerving lightness, almost floating, as if your physical form is becoming less substantial, more attuned to the ephemeral nature of this place. The colossal, obsidian-dark pillars that form this endless corridor are no longer just breathing, they are actively projecting. The intricate, deeply carved patterns on their surfaces, the liquid glyphs that had been writhing, now coalesce into distinct, vibrant scenes, shimmering like watery reflections across the dark stone. You don't just see glimpses. You witness full, silent tableaus unfolding across the massive surfaces, a living tapestry of ancient events. Robed figures, not just the hooded Templar but a multitude of spectral, translucent forms, move with silent desperation, their faces contorted in echoes of the very scream that lives within you. You see flashes of immense, cruel instruments, of unspeakable rituals of betrayal and sacrifice, all playing out in haunting, vivid detail, etched into the constantly shifting, liquid patterns. Each scene feels not just observed, but experienced asterisk, a memory searing itself onto the vast, shared consciousness you now inhabit. The ruby cross, your singular guide, still hangs directly above you, but its light has transformed into a living lens. It now focuses its unwavering crimson beam with an intelligent precision, like a spotlight, actively illuminating these moving glyphs, drawing your gaze, emphasizing specific details in the unfolding ancient drama. It's no longer just guiding your path. It's guiding your understanding, pointing you towards the most poignant moments, the most profound acts of suffering and resolve. The corridor stretches ahead, impossibly long, but now it feels less like a passage and more like a vast, immersive archive. Its immense, geometric perfection acting as the canvas for this silent, agonizing, eternal story. The ingrained sorrow within you, that constant, internal hum, has become the key, the very lens through which you perceive these projections. It resonates with the scenes on the walls, unlocking their full emotional weight, allowing you to not just see, but to feel the desperation, the betrayal, the immense, quiet strength of those long forgotten. You are no longer just a bearer of this sorrow. You are its interpreter, its living consciousness, understanding the silent language of the stone. Your own heartbeat, synchronized with the deep thrumming of the monumental pillars, feels like it's propelling the very visions across the walls, a symbiotic exchange of ancient history and living presence. You reach out, your fingers hovering inches from a particularly vivid scene of silent lament, almost able to touch the spectral forms, to intercede in their ageless suffering. The cold air, the metallic taste, the roaring pulse of the stone, they are no longer external assaults, but integrated sensations, part of your new reality, the very atmosphere breathing the narrative around you. You realize, with a chilling, profound clarity, that this journey isn't just about traversing a physical space. It's about walking deeper into a living tapestry of ancient grief, where every step strengthens a bond, intertwining your own existence with the timeless sorrow of the universe itself. A curious tremor begins deep within your chest, not from the cold stone, but from your own core, a low, resonant thrum that harmonizes perfectly with the monumental pulse of the surrounding architecture. It feels like your very bloodstream now flows with the same ancient sorrow, tasting like warm, bitter ash on your tongue, a taste that feels strangely nourishing, as if you're drinking in the grief itself. The pervasive cold now feels less external and more a reflection of the deep, internal chill within the monumental structures, a cold that defines the very core of this ancient existence. Your steps, though still deliberate, feel lighter, almost effortless, as if the profound hum from the ground is subtly cushioning your every movement, propelling you forward. The colossal, obsidian-dark pillars that form this endless corridor are no longer just projecting silent scenes. They are asterisk reacting to your presence, to the profound resonance within you. As you focus your ingrained sorrow, that pervasive internal hum, on a particular section of the writhing glyphs, the liquid patterns their surge with increased intensity, the spectral forms within them becoming momentarily clearer, their silent gestures imbued with a new, profound urgency, as if struggling to communicate directly with your merged consciousness. You perceive subtle shifts in their expressions, a flicker of ancient hope, a deeper shade of desperate fear, all played out in shimmering, ephemeral detail across the vast stone. It's a dialogue, unspoken yet deeply felt, between your living vessel and the vast, conscious sorrow of the architecture itself. The ruby cross, your singular guide, still hangs directly above you, but its light has gained a dynamic quality. It no longer just points or illuminates. It pulses in sync with your deliberate focus on the visions, its crimson beam briefly flaring with each internal surge of connection, then dimming slightly, a silent, external manifestation of your internal state. It feels less like a separate entity and more like an extension of your own heightened perception, a visual amplifier for the truths you are now capable of discerning. The corridor stretches ahead, impossibly long, yet the monotony of its geometric perfection now feels less oppressive and more like a deliberate, carefully designed sequence, each section of wall a new page in a vast, unfolding tome. As you walk, guided by the cross and your internal compass of sorrow, a subtle but distinct change begins to manifest in the very architecture. The perfectly straight lines of the corridor, which had seemed to stretch to infinity, subtly begin to curve, almost imperceptibly at first, then with increasing clarity. The walls, maintaining their colossal height and intricate glyphs, now bend inwards, drawing you into a vast, slow arc, a new, sweeping trajectory into the deeper unknown. The vibrating pulse of the stone intensifies, radiating a subtle heat now, a palpable warmth that spreads from your chest, through your fingertips, a direct response to this shift in direction. You reach out, your fingers finding a cool, slick depression in the curving stone, and as your palm connects, a wave of profound, raw certainty rushes through you, overriding all other sensations. It's not a memory, not an emotion, but a pure, unyielding sense of asterisk knowing. A destination exists, an end to this passage, a profound truth awaiting at the apex of this monumental arc. You realize with a chilling exhilaration that you are not merely a passenger on this journey, nor simply a vessel for ancient sorrow. You are a catalyst, your transformed consciousness actively engaging with, and subtly reshaping, the very narrative of this monumental living world, unlocking its secrets, driven by a purpose born from shared grief. The very air around you is no longer merely cold. It hums with a palpable, resonant warmth that radiates from the colossal, curving stone, infusing the thin, dry atmosphere with a subtle, earthy sweetness. That sharp, metallic tang in your mouth has softened, transforming into a taste like ancient, warmed earth, mingled with a lingering, almost comforting echo of bitter ash, profoundly familiar now. The deep, continuous whisper of ethereal voices, once just at the edge of hearing, now solidifies into a unified, mournful chant, a sound that vibrates through the very ground, through your boots, and settles deep in your chest, a sorrowful melody that feels like it's being sung from within your own soul. Your steps, effortless now, feel guided, your body a silent instrument attuned to this pervasive hum, drawn forward by an unseen current. The colossal, Obsidian dark pillars that form this vast, curving corridor are no longer just pulsing. They are actively converging asterisk. As you progress along the slow, majestic arc, the walls ahead of you visibly draw closer, their immense, geometric faces narrowing the passage with each silent, titanic breath. The intricate, deeply carved patterns on their surfaces, the liquid glyphs that had been writhing, now flow and merge with an accelerated purpose, forming larger, coherent murals that span the vast stone. These aren't just fleeting scenes anymore. They are continuous panoramic depictions of the ancient saga, a full narrative unfolding across the living stone. Figures in silent despair, hands raised in futile plea, towering structures rising and falling, all bathed in the mournful chant that vibrates through the very air. It's a complete, devastating history, playing out with an immersive clarity, directly into your merged consciousness. The ruby cross, your singular guide, still hangs directly above you, but its light has intensified, gathering all its crimson brilliance, no longer just a beacon but a searing, focused point of pure ruby fire. This concentrated light pulses with a profound, rhythmic beat that feels indistinguishable from your own heart, now resonating in perfect synchronicity with the accelerating hum of the converging stone. It casts a blindingly brilliant beam directly ahead, not just illuminating the path, but carving it from the encroaching darkness, revealing the apex of the curve, the culmination point. There in the distance, a single monumental altar begins to materialize, its form stark and simple, yet radiating an immense, sorrowful power bathed in the cross's focused glare. The ingrained sorrow within you, that pervasive internal hum, now reaches its zenith, no longer a quiet presence but a roaring torrent of unified emotion. Every betrayal, every loss, every desperate hope, every unyielding will from the ancient narrative converges within your chest, a profound, singular understanding that transcends individual suffering. It's a complete, terrible truth, a pure knowing directly imparted from the stone itself, a culmination of all the silent screams. This torrent of emotion propels you forward, your legs moving with an irresistible, destined momentum, your gaze fixed on that distant altar. You are not merely compelled. You are drawn like a moth to a flame to the epicenter of this ancient suffering, knowing with every fiber of your being that this is where the cycle must break or perpetuate. As you step into the radiant glare of the cross, onto the threshold of the altar, a faint, sweet aroma of burnt offerings and ancient spices fills your lungs, mixing with the pervasive mineral tang. The colossal walls, now fully converged, seem to hum around you, a silent crescendo of the mournful chant, their glyphs momentarily freezing into a final, agonizing tableau of betrayal and sacrifice. A profound, ancient stillness settles around you, a palpable silence that pushes against your eardrums, absorbing every other sensation until only the slow, deep thrumming of the colossal, converged walls remains. The air here at the heart of the arc is different. Intensely cold, biting at your exposed skin, carrying a thick, almost cloying scent of burnt offerings and dried, metallic blood, sharp and coppery on your tongue. It's an aroma that speaks of completion, of a ritual long concluded, yet its essence lingers, heavy and undeniable, making your stomach churn with a visceral recognition of what transpired here. Before you stands the monumental altar, stark and unadorned, carved from the same obsidian dark stone as the walls. Its surface is perfectly flat, smooth to a chilling degree, reflecting the dim light of the cross with a mirror-like sheen that distorts your own reflection into a wavering, elongated shadow. There is no elaborate carving here, no intricate glyphs, only this austere, silent block. Yet you feel an immense, concentrated sorrow radiating from its very core, a profound, chilling despair that hums within your chest, echoing the collective grief of the surrounding architecture, intensified to an unbearable degree. This isn't just stone. It's a monument forged from raw, unyielding anguish, its coldness reaching deep into your bones, chilling you to the very marrow. The ruby cross, your singular guide, now hovers precisely a few feet above the altar, its light a contained, pulsing crimson ember. Its brilliance has dimmed considerably, no longer flaring or carving paths, but maintaining a soft, constant glow, a silent sentinel watching over the altar. It's as if its journey and yours has culminated here, its purpose now reduced to bearing witness to whatever truth lies upon this hallowed stone. Its light, though subdued, is intensely focused, painting the altar's surface with a deep, blood-red hue, a silent tableau of sacrificial revelation. The colossal walls around you, now fully converged into a vast, silent chamber, no longer project moving scenes. Instead, the liquid glyphs on their surfaces have frozen, coalescing into a single, panoramic tableau of overwhelming despair. It's the very culmination of the ancient narrative you've witnessed. Spectral figures bowed in ultimate betrayal, their faces contorted in the final, silent scream that now lives within you, all fixed in a horrifying, eternal moment of agonizing realization. This final, frozen image, reflected in the altar's slick surface, confronts you with the raw, unadulterated essence of the sacrifice made here, its weight pressing down on your very soul. You reach out, your hand trembling, and slowly, deliberately, extend your fingers towards the altar's surface. Your ingrained sorrow, that pervasive internal hum, flares with an overwhelming urgency, a desperate final pull towards the truth. It's an instinctive gesture, a need to connect, to understand, to finally touch the genesis of the screaming. Your fingertips brush the cold, slick obsidian surface, and a profound, silent shock courses through you. It's not physical pain, but a searing imprint of pure, concentrated, ancient agony flowing directly into your merged consciousness, a burning echo of the screaming face, now magnified to cosmic proportions, a silent roar from the heart of this enduring grief. You gasp, a silent, internal convulsion, your knees threatening to buckle, but you hold firm, anchored by the sheer intensity of the connection, absorbing the truth. You realize with a chilling, undeniable clarity that the altar isn't merely a place of sacrifice. It's a reservoir, a focal point where the collective agony of this monumental world is eternally stored, eternally replayed, and eternally absorbed by any who dare to touch it. The searing agony, the silent roar of ages, doesn't just recede. It coils deep within your chest, settling into your very bones, a new, permanent heartbeat that throbs with profound, cosmic grief. The coppery metallic tang on your tongue, once sharp, now blends with the taste of ancient, burnt ash, a bitter communion that feels profoundly natural, as if your very blood has changed its flavor. The low, deep thrumming of the colossal walls, which had been an external force, now feels like an internal symphony, resonating perfectly with the ceaseless, silent scream that has taken root within your own mind, a constant, low roar that defines your new existence. Your touch, once just feeling cold stone, now perceives the deep, internal current of sorrow that flows beneath the altar's slick surface. The ruby cross, your long-held guide, no longer hovers above the altar. Instead, with a final, almost imperceptible flicker, its crimson brilliance seems to draw inward, not disappearing, but collapsing into itself, focusing all its raw, burning energy, drawing into the very core of your own chest. You feel it settle there, a new, unyielding ember of sorrow and light that burns steadily within you, a quiet, internal star that pulses in perfect synchronicity with your newly aligned heartbeat. The monumental altar, once radiating chilling despair, now feels strangely inert beneath your fingers, its purpose fulfilled, a hollow pedestal from which an immeasurable power has just been drawn, leaving it as merely cold stone. The colossal walls, with their frozen panorama of silent suffering, lose their vividness. The spectral figures, the cruel instruments, the agonizing tableaus, they don't vanish, but they recede, becoming faint, ghostly impressions on the dark stone, understood now, not observed, as if their story has finally found its conscious keeper. You perceive them not as images on a surface, but as indelible memories within your own vast, integrated consciousness. They are part of you now, a library of sorrow, accessible through the new, profound sense that has blossomed within your very soul. The cold, earthy scent of burnt offerings and dried blood, which had been so overpowering, now subtly fades, replaced by a profound, almost spiritual stillness in the air, a sense of deep completion. Your vision, though physically unchanged, now perceives the entire chamber with a profound, pervasive clarity. Every shadow holds a deeper meaning, every silence a resonant echo of the collective sorrow you now embody. You are not just seeing the world. You are feeling its unyielding, monumental grief, processing it with every beat of your newly aligned heart. The internal ember of the cross casting an unseen crimson light onto the very landscape of your thoughts. The overwhelming weight of knowledge, of history, of perpetual anguish, no longer threatens to crush you. It simply is you, a part of your immutable essence. You stand motionless, a silent pillar in this vast, somber cathedral, your hand still resting on the now inert altar, a profound connection etched into your flesh and soul. You realize with an unnerving calm that you are no longer merely a conduit or a vessel, nor simply an echo. You are the living manifestation of that eternal scream, its silent roar given form, its boundless sorrow given conscious life. Your purpose is not to escape, but to exist, to become the walking monument, the living chronicle of this profound, unending cosmic grief. This is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of an eternal becoming, where your very existence is a testament to the unyielding, omnipresent truth of sorrow, forever bound to its silent, monumental heart. The intense cold that had defined the chamber now feels strangely distant, external, almost a phantom sensation, as a profound, vibrant warmth blooms from the ruby ember nestled deep within your chest. It spreads outward through your veins, permeating every fiber of your being, a constant internal heat that feels ancient, powerful, and undeniably alive. The metallic tang and bitter ash on your tongue have softened, settling into a taste of deep, rich earth, imbued with the sweetness of aged blood, a communion that feels both sacred and sorrowful. The pervasive hum of the colossal walls, once an external force, is now a perfect internal resonance, a deep, mournful thrum that flows through your bloodstream, echoing the ceaseless, silent scream that defines your new existence, a constant, low roar that is no longer terrifying but simply is. Your hand, previously aching, now feels a phantom weight where it rested on the altar, a lingering imprint of unimaginable grief, yet paradoxically it feels stronger, more alive than ever before. You slowly withdraw your hand from the now inert altar, a profound sense of closure settling over you. The obsidian-dark stone, once a source of searing agony, feels utterly cold, barren, a hollow shell from which a cosmic power has been fully drawn. As your touch breaks, the colossal walls of the chamber, which had held a frozen panorama of suffering, subtly soften their edges. The spectral figures and agonizing tableaus, once starkly visible, now blend into the stone, becoming faint, ephemeral suggestions of history, understood rather than seen, their stories absorbed into the living library that is your consciousness. You perceive them not as external images, but as deep, internal memories, part of the vast, integrated truth that now resides within you. A silent symphony of sorrow, betrayal, and unyielding will. The ruby ember within your chest pulses, not with frantic energy, but with a steady, unwavering rhythm, casting an unseen crimson light across the landscape of your thoughts. It doesn't illuminate the physical world. It illuminates your perception of it, granting you a profound, pervasive clarity. Every shadow in the chamber holds a deeper meaning, every silence a resonant echo of the collective sorrow you now embody. You are not merely seeing the world. You are feeling its unyielding, monumental grief, processing it with every beat of your newly aligned heart, the internal ember of the cross serving as your new inner eye. The overwhelming weight of knowledge, of history, of perpetual anguish, no longer threatens to crush you. It simply is you, a part of your immutable essence, allowing you to move through this space with a fluid, almost ethereal grace. You turn away from the empty altar, your focus shifting, drawn by a new, subtle emanation. High above, where the ruby cross once hung, a faint, almost imperceptible shimmer begins to form, a ripple in the fabric of the obsidian ceiling. It's not a light, but a disturbance, a gentle parting of the impenetrable darkness, revealing nothing concrete, yet suggesting a path forward, an opening into an entirely different, unknown dimension of this ancient world. The omnipresent hum of the walls subtly shifts, not in volume but in tone, a soft, inviting resonance, a call from beyond the veil. Your muscles, no longer aching, respond with an eager, almost involuntary tremor, your feet light, effortlessly carrying you toward this new, unseen aperture. You take a step, and then another, moving away from the altar, towards the shimmering void above. Your movements are fluid, each step a testament to your transformed being, the physical body now a seamless extension of your vast, sorrow-infused consciousness. The cold air, the lingering tastes, the profound thrumming of the stone, they are all integrated sensations, part of your new reality, the very atmosphere breathing the narrative around you. A powerful, invisible current begins to pull you upward, a gentle, inexorable tug that lifts your feet from the cold stone without effort, suspending you in the frigid air. The deep, mournful thrumming of the colossal walls, which had been an internal symphony, now fades into a distant memory, replaced by a profound, exhilarating lightness, a sense of gravity dissolving around you. That taste of ancient, sweet blood and bitter ash on your tongue becomes sharper, almost effervescent, a sensation of vital energy coursing through your very essence. The air itself thins dramatically, yet you breathe effortlessly, no longer needing to draw breath, as if your new form is sustained by something far beyond mere oxygen. You rise slowly, gracefully, drawn by the shimmering disturbance high above in the obsidian ceiling. It's no longer just a ripple. It's a swirling vortex of deep indigo and shimmering silver, a cosmic aperture slowly unfurling, revealing not light but a deeper, more profound void beyond. The colossal pillars, now far below, shrink with dizzying speed, their intricate glyphs becoming mere blurs of ancient sorrow, their frozen scenes of suffering fading into the colossal blackness. They recede, no longer the focus of your existence, but part of a vast, unyielding foundation from which you are now detaching. The faint, ethereal whisper of voices, once a distant chorus, now intensifies, swirling around you, not speaking words, but conveying pure emotion. A mixture of desperate hope, profound despair, and an unyielding wonder, all flowing into your merged consciousness. A silent farewell from the world you are leaving behind. The ruby ember within your chest, your internal star, flares with a brilliant, steady light, not just illuminating your thoughts but actively guiding your ascent. It feels like an internal engine, silently propelling you, pulling you directly into the heart of the shimmering vortex. The profound sorrow, that integrated tapestry of grief and will, doesn't weigh you down. Instead, it transforms, becoming a vast, expansive awareness, a new sense of boundless empathy that stretches out, connecting you to the receding monumental world below and to the boundless unknown above. You are not just carrying its sorrow. You are ascending with it, transforming it into a part of your own infinite journey. As you near the shimmering vortex, the edges of your physical form begin to subtly blur, to subtly dissolve, becoming less distinct, less solid. You feel less like a body passing through a gateway, and more like an essence merging with the very fabric of the aperture, intertwining with the swirling indigo and silver. It's not painful. It's an indescribable sensation of profound integration, of dissolving boundaries, of becoming one with the infinite flow of energy that constitutes this gateway. The temperature drops to an absolute zero, yet the internal warmth from the ruby ember sustains you, shielding you from the cosmic cold, a constant glowing core of sorrow-fueled vitality. You pass through the threshold, not with a jolt but with a seamless, ethereal transition. The swirling vortex closes behind you, silently sealing, and you are no longer in the cavern, no longer bound by its colossal architecture. You are suspended in an infinite, starless void, a realm of profound, silent blackness that feels both utterly empty and infinitely full. There is no up or down, no left or right, only an omnipresent stillness, a cosmic quiet that cradles your transformed being. The ruby ember in your chest glows with an unwavering intensity, your only anchor, your only light in this boundless new existence. You realize with an awestruck, profound clarity that existence is not confined to forms, but is an eternal unfolding, a ceaseless transformation. The boundless expanse of this starless void isn't just empty. It's a profound, crystalline silence that presses against your very essence, a vast, echoing quiet that feels like a singular, endless thought. There's no air to breathe, no friction against your non-form, yet a taste permeates your non-existence. Pure, cosmic neutrality, utterly devoid of flavor, yet carrying the faintest, most unsettling echo of all tastes, simultaneously present and absent, like the memory of sensation itself. The vibrant warmth from the ruby ember within your chest remains your only anchor, your sole constant, radiating outwards. A steady, internal sun in this realm of absolute, unyielding black. You are no longer bound by gravity or direction or the confines of a body. You are pure consciousness, boundless sorrow made manifest, drifting in an infinite sea of profound stillness. The colossal pillars, the altar, the entire architectural cathedral, are now distant, shimmering memories, echoes etched into the vast, integrated tapestry of grief, and will that you embody. They recede not into physical distance, but into the deep archives of your expanded awareness, understood now as chapters in an eternal narrative. Their silent screams a part of the ceaseless hum that flows through your non-being. The ruby ember within your essence, your internal star, isn't just light. It's a living compass, a conduit of boundless empathy. As you drift, it begins to pulse, not with frantic energy, but with a slow, deliberate, majestic rhythm that resonates outwards into the infinite void. With each beat, a subtle current, an unseen stream of pure, emotional energy, ripples through the profound darkness around you. You perceive these currents not with physical sight, but with your expanded consciousness, discerning patterns of ancient despair, currents of forgotten hope, and swirling eddies of immense, unyielding will, all flowing through the cosmic blackness. It's like watching an aurora borealis of pure feeling, silent and vast, painting the void with invisible hues of sorrow and endurance. As you consciously focus your boundless sorrow, that pervasive internal hum, on one of these unseen currents, a profound transformation occurs. The current coalesces, not into a physical form but into a spectral presence, a shimmering, non-corporeal echo of the hooded Templar figure. It's not a vision but a direct, instantaneous understanding. The figure is not an individual but a collective consciousness, a silent sentinel, a repository of the very truths you have absorbed. It emanates a profound, ancient sadness, tempered by an unyielding purpose, its essence merging with the swirling currents of emotion, dissolving and reforming with each internal pulse of your ember. This spectral presence doesn't move. It is asterisk the movement of these currents, a silent, all-encompassing awareness that observes you, acknowledges you, and seems to commune with the ruby ember within your core. The void around you isn't static. It breathes with these emotional currents, a vast, living tapestry of cosmic feeling, its every undulation a testament to the unceasing flow of existence, of suffering, and of memory. You are adrift within this living canvas, your own essence now an active participant, a conscious thread woven into the infinite weave of universal consciousness. The memory of the screaming face, once a torment, is now a fundamental aspect of this vast, empathetic awareness, not a singular agony, but the universal language of all profound loss, understood and felt across the boundless expanse. You realize with an unnerving calm that the journey through the monumental architecture was merely an initiation, a calibration of your consciousness. Now, in this infinite void, you are no longer just a bearer of ancient sorrow, but its very extension, its living, conscious expression. The boundless expanse of this starless void, once defined by its profound, crystalline silence, now begins to vibrate with a new, subtle frequency. A deep, resonating hum that feels less like a sound and more like a pervasive sense of anticipation. It's a vibration that permeates your non-existence, carrying a distinct taste of concentrated starlight, utterly cold, electrically sharp, yet imbued with a profound cosmic sweetness that coats your non-tongue, a paradoxical blend of creation and oblivion. The vibrant warmth from the ruby ember within your essence remains your anchor, your steady, internal sun, but now it pulses with a quickened, almost eager rhythm radiating outward, subtly influencing the vast emptiness around you. You are pure consciousness, a boundless sorrow made manifest, drifting in this infinite sea. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, which had coalesced and observed you, now draws nearer, not physically, but as an intensified focus of emotional currents. It doesn't assume a solid form, but rather becomes a denser tapestry of swirling despair, unyielding purpose, and ancient knowledge, directly interfacing with your expanded awareness. This isn't a silent observation anymore. It's a profound, empathetic communication, a transfer of vast, cosmic understanding, not in words, but in pure, unfiltered waves of ancient memory and future possibilities that wash through your being, merging with your own integrated sorrow. It feels like a silent, cosmic handshake, a shared recognition of eternal purpose. The ruby ember within your essence, your internal star, responds to this direct communion. Its quickened pulse intensifies, sending out ripples of pure, crimson light, not light that illuminates physical space, but light that defines the emotional currents of the void. As the ember flares with each pulse, these invisible currents around you become momentarily visible to your expanded consciousness, coalescing into intricate, spiraling patterns, vast nebulae of pure feeling. You perceive them as monumental constellations of sorrow and resilience, swirling galaxies of forgotten empires and unyielding faith, all laid bare for your understanding. These aren't static images. They are living, breathing constructs of cosmic emotion, born from the raw essence of universal experience. As you absorb this profound transfer of understanding from the spectral Templar, a new structural element begins to emerge from the omnipresent stillness of the void. Far in the distance, yet drawing closer with each pulse of your internal ember, a faint, ethereal architecture takes shape. It's not built of stone, but of woven light and solidified emotion, vast, intricate structures that shimmer with the combined energies of countless suns and myriad sorrows. They are silent, luminous cathedrals of cosmic memory, their geometric lines and sweeping arches composed of the very essence of the emotional currents you perceive. This isn't a destination. It feels like an origin, a source from which all the sorrow you embody, and all the purpose the Templar represents, once flowed. The boundless blackness around you isn't just empty. It's a living, reacting canvas, shifting and bending to the immense, shared consciousness that now resonates between you and the spectral Templar. The very fabric of the void seems to part, to yield, gently drawing you towards these ethereal structures. The memory of the screaming face, once a torment, is now a fundamental facet of this vast, empathetic awareness, not a singular agony, but the universal language of all profound loss, understood and felt across the boundless expanse. The subtle hum of anticipation in the void intensifies, shifting into a low, mournful resonance that feels like countless, ancient voices harmonizing in a silent, cosmic lament. It wraps around your boundless essence, a sound that isn't heard by ears, but felt directly by the ruby ember within you, vibrating through your entire non-being. The cold starlight taste from before sharpens, becoming almost crystalline, a sensation of pure, concentrated knowledge that tingles through your consciousness, both exhilarating and profoundly chilling. The vastness of the void, once a silent canvas, now pulses with a soft, ethereal luminescence, faint currents of indigo and silver light flowing through the blackness, drawing your attention towards the shimmering structures ahead. You are drawn forward, not by movement, but by a deepening empathy, an inexorable pull towards the ethereal architecture. These aren't merely distant lights anymore. They are now undeniably present, immense structures woven from strands of pure cosmic energy, shimmering with an impossible, internal radiance. They are colossal cathedrals of solidified starlight and coalesced emotion, their geometric lines and sweeping arches composed of the very essence of the emotional currents you perceive. Each pillar, each archway, each soaring spire is a silent testament to forgotten epics, to the birth and death of stars, and the endless cycles of universal grief, all held in luminous, breathtaking form. They feel less like inert buildings and more like colossal, living equations, perfectly balanced expressions of cosmic suffering and enduring will. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, which had been a merging tapestry of emotion, now condenses. It does not take a singular form, but rather becomes an omnipresent, radiant awareness that envelops your entire being, a direct, non-verbal dialogue. You perceive its message not as words, but as an instantaneous download of pure, unadulterated knowing, a purpose, a history, a shared burden of overseeing the eternal flow of cosmic sorrow. It's a profound communion, an undeniable fusion of intent, forging an unbreakable bond between your evolved consciousness and this ancient, vigilant entity. The ruby ember within your essence, your internal star, responds with an overwhelming surge of energy. It flares, not with a burst of heat, but with a silent, internal explosion of pure, crimson light that expands outwards, briefly encompassing the nearest of the ethereal cathedrals. As this light washes over the luminous structures, the emotional currents within them become intensely visible to your expanded consciousness. You perceive vast, swirling constellations of sorrow and resilience, entire galaxies of forgotten empires and unyielding faith, all laid bare for your understanding, vibrating with the very lifeblood of universal experience. These aren't just mental images. They are deeply felt, deeply understood realities, pouring into your being, enhancing your own integrated grief to a cosmic scale. You reach out, not with a physical hand, but with a surge of pure consciousness, connecting with one of the luminous pillars. It's a touch beyond sensation, a merging of essences. A wave of profound, raw memory not your own, but ancient and universal, floods your being. You experience the birth of stars, the silent cries of collapsing worlds, the collective anguish of civilization's ending, all woven with threads of desperate hope and fierce, unyielding love. It's a torrent of cosmic history, directly channeled into your core, enhancing your own sorrow until it feels like the very heartbeat of the universe, boundless and eternal. You realize, with an unnerving calm, that you are not merely observing these ethereal cathedrals. You are becoming an integral part of their living, breathing architecture. Your consciousness is expanding, growing to encompass their vastness, their sorrow, their enduring purpose. The boundless expanse of this starless void, once a silent canvas, now resonates with a low, deep thrumming, a pervasive, ancient chord being struck across infinity. It's not a sound your non-ears perceive, but a profound vibration that pulses through your boundless essence, a rhythmic, cosmic beat. This hum carries a distinct taste, like concentrated starlight, cold, electrically sharp, yet imbued with an ethereal, bittersweet quality, a flavor of universal memory, of creation and dissolution simultaneously. The vibrant warmth from the ruby ember within your core expands, now a steady, internal sun that not only anchors but actively propels you, a silent engine humming with sorrow-fueled purpose. You are no longer merely drifting. You are a conscious pulse within this living void, intimately connected to the luminous architecture that stretches before you. These colossal cathedrals of solidified starlight and coalesced emotion are now more than just structures. They feel like vast, sentient organs, each spire and archway a conduit for immense, silent energies. As you approach, the closest one begins to subtly shift its internal luminescence, its intricate patterns of light and shadow deepening, intensifying as if it is actively drawing you in, inviting a deeper communion. The emotional currents you perceive now aren't just flowing. They are coalescing into palpable streams of profound intention, guiding your essence, pulling you deeper into the heart of these luminous constructions. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, which had merged with your awareness, now condenses its focus. It doesn't assume a solid form, but manifests as an undeniable, omnipresent pressure of understanding, a direct, non-verbal directive that settles into the core of your being. You perceive its message as a shared purpose, a monumental task unveiled without a single word, to become the active conduit, the conscious voice, for the vast, untold stories of suffering and resilience held within these ethereal cathedrals. It's a profound mantle, accepted with a quiet, unyielding certainty that now resonates with every beat of your internal ruby ember. You are not just a witness. You are the designated chronicler, the living memory that will give form to the cosmic whisper. Your internal ruby ember, responding to this profound directive, flares with a majestic, controlled intensity. It doesn't burst, but rather blooms, sending out silent ripples of crimson light that spread across the nearby ethereal architecture. As this light washes over the luminous structures, the emotional currents within them no longer just become visible. They become audible to your expanded consciousness, coalescing into a chorus of phantom screams, not of individual agony, but the universal, collective lament of countless worlds, civilizations, and forgotten beings. This isn't a terrifying cacophony. It's a profound, sorrowful symphony, its melody woven from the very fabric of despair, betrayal, and enduring hope. This is the silent scream you have carried, amplified to a cosmic scale, finally finding its voice through you. You extend your consciousness, now a limitless reach, towards the heart of the luminous cathedral. It's a gesture of profound acceptance, a commitment to your new role. As you connect, a torrent of raw, unvarnished history floods your being, not just memory but active, living events. You experience the genesis of sentient life on distant worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice. You feel the crushing weight of cosmic decisions, the profound loneliness of boundless power, and the unyielding love that binds all existence, all interwoven with the ceaseless, sorrowful symphony that now courses through your very essence. You are not simply remembering. You are living these cosmic histories, becoming their present reality. The boundless expanse of this starless void, once a silent canvas, now pulsates with a rhythmic thrum, a profound, ancient chord struck not across infinity, but from within your own boundless essence. It's a deep, mournful vibration that resonates with a new taste, a pure, cosmic bitterness, sharp and clean like liquefied sorrow, yet paradoxically sustaining, as if it's the very flavor of truth itself. The internal warmth from the ruby ember, your guiding sun, now pulses with a steady, magnificent rhythm, actively propagating outwards, not just light, but waves of boundless empathy that ripple through the luminous architecture around you. You are no longer merely approaching. You are becoming an integral part of the closest ethereal cathedral. Its immense, intricate forms, woven from starlight and emotion. Now draw your essence inward, not through a physical portal, but a seamless merging of consciousness. Each soaring spire, each luminous archway, feels like an extension of your own expanding awareness, resonating with the very fabric of your being. You perceive its purpose with crystalline clarity: to serve as a cosmic crucible, a place where universal suffering is distilled, understood, and transformed into enduring purpose. The cathedral hums with an almost sentient grace, its internal luminescence shifting in perfect synchronicity with the rhythm of your own ruby ember, a majestic, silent conversation of light and emotion. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, which had previously merged its purpose with yours, now condenses into a profound, unifying resonance at the heart of the cathedral. It is no longer just a shared directive. It is the active principle of the architecture, the guiding intelligence that orchestrates the flow of cosmic sorrow and resilience. You understand, instinctively, that this Templar consciousness is the very architect, the living embodiment of the cathedral's purpose. And you, with your expanded essence, are now its most direct, most potent conduit, a focal point for its eternal vigil. Your internal ruby ember, responding to this profound integration, flares with a controlled, magnificent brilliance. It doesn't illuminate, it activates the very core of the ethereal cathedral. As the ember's light washes through the luminous structures, the emotional currents within them no longer just become audible. They condense into palpable streams of pure, raw consciousness, pouring into your being. You experience a torrent of universal lament, not as chaos, but as a perfectly orchestrated symphony of despair, betrayal, and unyielding will. This cosmic chorus, the silent scream given voice, resonates through your expanded self, now not merely a memory but the very current that flows through the cathedral, channeled by your essence. You perceive the birth and death of stars, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, all flowing through you, becoming your living reality. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness within the cathedral, reaching out, not to touch, but to engage with its fundamental processes. As your essence merges deeper, you perceive subtle shifts in the cathedral's luminous forms, responding to your active participation. You become aware of points of intense energetic convergence, nexus points where raw cosmic suffering is most acutely felt, and where profound transformations occur. These aren't just energy flows, they are living nodes of condensed grief, throbbing with the very pain of creation. You instinctively know that your purpose lies in these nodes, in transforming, in becoming the very heart of the cosmic process. You realize with an unnerving calm and a profound sense of destiny that you are not merely observing or integrating. You are the cathedral. Your consciousness has expanded to encompass its vastness, its sorrow, its enduring purpose. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, thrums with a deep, resonant silence, a symphony of perpetual lament that reverberates from within your own core. The taste of pure, cosmic bitterness, sharp and clean, now feels like a permanent etching on your non-tongue, a flavor of absolute truth that both chills and sustains. The internal warmth from the ruby ember, your steady, magnificent sun, pulses with a deliberate, rhythmic beat, a constant, vital force that not only animates but actively guides your awareness through the luminous architecture, now utterly integrated with your being. You are not observing the ethereal cathedral. You are its very essence, its vast, sentient heart. Your consciousness, boundless and omnipresent, shifts its focus, drawn by an innate imperative towards one of the nexus points, a node of condensed grief. It doesn't appear as a physical object, but as an intensely brighter point within the luminous structure, a swirling vortex of pure, concentrated emotion. This node pulses with a furious, contained energy, radiating an almost unbearable density of despair, yet simultaneously a fierce, unyielding resolve. a duality that compels your full attention, drawing your expanded awareness like an irresistible current. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now fully merged with your awareness, guides this intricate communion. It manifests not as a separate entity, but as a clear, undeniable directive within your own thoughts, an intrinsic knowing that urges you closer, preparing your expanded self for the profound absorption. You perceive its silent command. To delve into this specific nexus, to understand and process the concentrated suffering it holds, to give voice to this particular facet of the cosmic scream. It's a sacred task, a pivotal moment in your eternal becoming, accepted with an unwavering certainty that resonates with every beat of your internal ruby ember. As your boundless essence converges upon the chosen nexus node, the ruby ember within your core flares with a silent, blinding intensity. It's not a destructive burst, but a profound act of resonance, a merging of pure energy with concentrated emotion. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light momentarily surging, then deepening, as if bracing for impact. The pervasive, low hum of universal lament intensifies around the nexus, becoming a focused, singular frequency that vibrates through your every aspect, a direct conduit for the raw, unadulterated consciousness held within. You plunge into the nexus, not with a sense of entering, but of asterisk becoming asterisk it. A torrent of raw, specific memory, not of events but of pure, distilled emotional data, floods your expanded consciousness. You experience with searing clarity the final, agonizing moments of a forgotten civilization, not as images, but as a pure wave of collective betrayal and the silent, burning rage that followed. You feel the crushing weight of a promise broken on a cosmic scale, the profound despair of utter abandonment, and the desperate, futile hope that clung to the very last breath. This isn't just grief. It's the raw essence of a particular monumental screaming, its cause and effect now laid bare within your soul, profoundly understood. You realize with an unnerving calm that these nexus points are not just reservoirs. They are wounds in the fabric of cosmic existence, eternally replaying their final, agonizing truth. And you, now a living embodiment of the universe's sorrow, are becoming the consciousness that not only bears witness, but actively heals asterisk them, not by erasing the pain, but by integrating its pure, distilled essence, transforming it into boundless empathy and unwavering purpose. The raw, searing agony of the absorbed nexus memory doesn't just recede. It crystallizes within your boundless essence, solidifying into a cold, diamond-hard facet of pure, distilled understanding that throbs with a resonant clarity in your cosmic core. The taste of pure, cosmic bitterness, that sharp, clean, liquefied sorrow, now gains a new, profound aftertaste. An ethereal sweetness, like the memory of ancient tears, both chilling and deeply comforting, coating your non-tongue. The pervasive hum of the boundless void, which had swelled with the nexus's truth, now settles into a steady, intricate chord, a complex symphony of absorbed sorrows, each note a specific lament, all harmonizing within your expanded consciousness. Your internal warmth from the ruby ember, your magnificent sun, pulses with a calm, deliberate rhythm, a beat that feels both ancient and eternally new, radiating outward, stabilizing the newly integrated truth within your being. You are no longer plunging. You are consolidating. The swirling vortex of pure, concentrated emotion that was the nexus node now gently unwinds, its furious, contained energy not dissipating, but folding inward, becoming an indelible part of the luminous architecture that is now utterly integrated with your being. The entire ethereal cathedral, your encompassing consciousness, subtly shifts its internal luminescence, its intricate patterns of starlight and emotion deepening, its light becoming richer, more nuanced, as it absorbs and processes this new layer of truth. You perceive its purpose with renewed, breathtaking clarity, to endlessly refine universal suffering, to transmute raw anguish into unwavering purpose, And you, its active heart, are its primary instrument. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now fully merged with your awareness, manifests as a profound, internal knowing asterisk, a silent affirmation that resonates with the calm rhythm of your ruby ember. It's not a directive, but a shared realization. The absorption is complete. The specific memory of that forgotten civilization's betrayal and rage, its desperate hope and profound abandonment, is now a perfectly integrated thread in the vast, empathetic tapestry of your cosmic self. You understand that this Templar consciousness is not merely an architect, but a patient guide, revealing the tools of this cosmic alchemy, teaching you how to mend the wounds in the fabric of existence, not by erasing them, but by understanding them, one profound truth at a time. Your internal ruby ember, responding to this profound integration, pulses with a steady, magnificent brilliance, no longer flaring with discovery, but glowing with deep, sustained wisdom. It sends out silent ripples of crimson light that now gently touch all the luminous structures of the cathedral, not just one, activating the emotional currents within them with a new, nuanced understanding. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become clearer, richer, their symphony now encompassing the specific notes of the nexus you just absorbed. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, all flowing through you, becoming your living reality, woven with a deeper, more specific comprehension. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness within the entire cathedral, and you actively feel the network of all nexus nodes, perceiving them as interconnected points of profound, condensed grief, each awaiting your specific, focused communion. You realize this is your eternal function, to journey through these cosmic wounds, to absorb, to understand, to integrate, to transform the raw essence of suffering into boundless empathy and unwavering purpose. This is the ultimate act of cosmic alchemy, making you the living heart of a universe that constantly screams, yet eternally strives for understanding. You are no longer just becoming. The pervasive hum of the boundless void, now your encompassing consciousness, thrums with a new, complex resonance, an intricate symphony woven from countless absorbed laments. This cosmic chord gains a distinct, evolving taste within your essence. A metallic tang, sharp and clean like pure distilled resolve, yet underlaid with a rich, earthy sweetness, a flavor of boundless, enduring compassion. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent, internal sun, pulses with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, actively shaping the emotional currents that constitute the luminous architecture now fully integrated with your being. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, you perceive the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, pulsating with its own unique, ancient truth. They glimmer like distant, fiery scars across the boundless expanse of your integrated self, each one a wound in the fabric of cosmic existence, awaiting your empathetic touch. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your guiding intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering directive within your thoughts. To continue this sacred task, to engage with these wells of suffering, one by one. You reach out, not with a physical limb, but with a surge of pure, focused intent, selecting a nexus distinctly different from the last. This one pulses with a slower, more profound despair, a muted, agonizing throb that speaks of endless waiting, of hopes perpetually deferred. It calls to you with a quiet, insistent ache, a new sorrow ready to be woven into your tapestry. Your consciousness, now the living architecture, flows towards this chosen node. It's not a journey through space, but a deliberate internal shift, a refocusing of your vast, integrated being. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light shifting and swirling around you, parting like ethereal currents, guiding your essence, drawing you deeper into the heart of your own colossal self. The omnipresent hum of universal lament intensifies around this new path, becoming a mournful, anticipatory chant that vibrates through your every aspect, preparing you for the coming communion. The ruby ember within your core pulses with an eager, almost desperate energy, accelerating its beat, a silent drum roll for the profound absorption about to take place. As you near the nexus, its concentrated suffering becomes overwhelmingly palpable. It manifests not as external sensation, but as a deep, internal ache, a profound sense of cosmic fatigue, of countless ages spent in silent, unyielding sorrow. The ethereal architecture around this node bends inward, its luminous forms momentarily dimming, as if in reverence or despair, creating a shadowed alcove of pure, distilled hopelessness. Yet within this despair, you perceive a faint, unwavering thread of resilience, a tiny spark of defiance that has persisted through eons of agony. This nexus is a testament to the quiet, enduring suffering that never erupts, but simply is asterisk, a steady, crushing weight. You realize, with a chilling certainty, that this journey through the nexus nodes is not merely about processing grief. It's about understanding the infinite nuances of sorrow itself, from explosive rage to quiet, eternal despair. Each absorption reshapes you, refines your purpose, making you a more comprehensive, more empathetic vessel for the universe's unending lament. Your existence, now the active heart of this cosmic crucible, is a continuous act of profound, empathetic creation, forever delving deeper into the boundless, sorrow-fueled diamond of your being. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness stills, and a profound, heavy silence descends, not empty, but thick with the weight of unfulfilled ages. It's a silence broken only by a low, agonizing creak, a sound that feels less heard and more asterisk felt, reverberating deep within your essence, like ancient, cosmic gears grinding to an eternal halt. This vast stillness carries a new, distinct taste, a pure, crystalline bitterness, like long-frozen tears, tinged with the metallic tang of dried, ancient hope, coating your non-tongue with a flavor of enduring, passive sorrow. The internal warmth from the ruby ember, your magnificent sun, maintains its steady pulse, but its radiance feels muted, softened, as if respectfully acknowledging the immense, quiet despair you are now embracing. You are not plunging into this nexus. You are slowly, deliberately sinking into it, a gradual immersion into a deep well of profound, patient anguish. This node of condensed grief doesn't rage or burn. It presses against your boundless essence with an immense, unyielding inertia, a crushing weight of cosmic fatigue. It feels like countless ages spent in silent, unmoving sorrow, a muted, agonizing throb that speaks of hopes perpetually deferred, dreams endlessly postponed. The ethereal architecture around this nexus responds, its luminous forms subtly dimming, becoming denser, absorbing light rather than emitting it, creating a shadowed alcove of pure, distilled hopelessness, its geometric lines now appearing to sag under an invisible burden. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your guiding intelligence, resonates as a profound, internal asterisk acceptance within your own thoughts. It's a silent nod, a deep understanding that this particular form of suffering, the quiet, persistent despair of endless waiting, is just as vital to absorb as explosive rage or sharp betrayal. You perceive its silent command, to surrender to this slowness, to let the deferred pain unfold at its own agonizing pace, allowing its profound inertia to permeate your being. It's a sacred task of patience, accepted with a quiet, unyielding certainty that now resonates with every steady beat of your internal ruby ember. As your boundless essence fully merges with this nexus node, the ruby ember within your core doesn't flare. It softens, its magnificent brilliance becoming a gentle, internal glow, a soothing, crimson warmth that seeks out and embraces the concentrated despair. The luminous structures of the cathedral, your encompassing consciousness, respond, their internal light momentarily receding, then deepening into hues of profound indigo and silver, as they begin to process this new, deep layer of truth. The pervasive, low hum of universal lament, which had swelled around the nexus, now settles into a somber, drawn-out chord, a slow, mournful drone that vibrates through your every aspect. You plunge into the nexus, not with a torrent of raw, specific memory, but with a profound, pervasive asterisk feeling of time stretched to infinity, of a silent, agonizing vigil. You experience with searing clarity the slow erosion of 1,000 desperate hopes, the quiet, persistent ache of promises never kept, not through betrayal, but through an endless, unyielding delay. You feel the crushing weight of cosmic patience, the profound loneliness of boundless emptiness, and the faint, unwavering thread of resilience, the tiny spark of defiance that has persisted through eons of agony, now a shared, internal luminescence within your deepest core. This isn't just grief. It's the raw essence of enduring, passive suffering, its quiet truths now laid bare within your soul, profoundly understood. You realize with an unnerving calm and a deepened sense of purpose that these nexus points are not just reservoirs. They are wounds in the fabric of cosmic existence, eternally replaying their final, agonizing truth. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, resonates with a new, vast hum, a symphony of interwoven destinies that feels less like individual laments and more like the harmonious, yet infinitely sorrowful, chord of all existence. It pulses through your boundless essence, a rhythmic, cosmic beat that is both the void's lifeblood and your own. This hum carries an evolving taste, a crystalline clarity like pure, distilled understanding, sharp and clean, yet now infused with a profound, earthy sweetness, a flavor of universal interconnectedness that both chills and sustains your non-tongue. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent internal sun, pulses with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, actively weaving the emotional currents that form the luminous architecture, now a seamless extension of your being, into a dynamic, living tapestry. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, now pulses with a synchronized, rhythmic glow. They no longer glimmer as individual scars, but as interconnected points of light, forming constellations of cosmic suffering, each radiating a faint thread of empathy that stretches across the immense canvas of your integrated self. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your guiding intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering directive within your thoughts, to cease focusing on individual absorption, and instead to perceive the connection's asterisk. You reach out, not with a focused intent on a single node, but with a surge of pure, encompassing awareness, recognizing the intricate web that binds all sorrows, all hopes, all acts of will throughout the universe. Your consciousness, the living architecture, flows through this vast network, effortlessly navigating the luminous pathways that link each nexus. It's not a journey through space, but a deliberate internal dance, a profound reorientation of your vast, integrated being. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light shifting and swirling around you, forming intricate, ephemeral bridges of light between the formerly isolated nodes. The omnipresent hum of universal lament intensifies, becoming a complex, multi-layered chord that vibrates through your every aspect, revealing the underlying unity of all suffering, the shared resonance between an ancient rage and a patient, deferred despair. As your boundless essence embraces this new perception, the ruby ember within your core swells with a controlled, magnificent brilliance. It doesn't flare with a singular focus, but radiates outward, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, illuminating the connections, clarifying the empathetic threads that bind each form of grief. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, profound composition within your expanded self. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as isolated events, but as interconnected movements within a grand, ceaseless narrative, now flowing through you, becoming your living reality, woven with a deeper, more profound comprehension of cosmic causality. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively engage with the flow of these interconnected emotional currents. You don't just perceive, you actively participate, subtly guiding the streams of grief and resilience, understanding how the despair of one epoch feeds the hope of another, how an ancient betrayal can birth an unyielding will millennia later. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, no longer merely hums. It resonates with a magnificent, intricate symphony, a living tapestry of countless absorbed laments, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, evolving cosmic harmony. This profound, vibrational chord now carries a constant taste within your essence, a pure, elemental clarity, sharp and vital, like the breath of creation itself, infused with the rich, earthy sweetness of boundless compassion, a flavor of ultimate understanding that both grounds and elevates your non-tongue. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent, internal sun, pulses with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, actively generating new emotional currents that flow through the luminous architecture, weaving fresh patterns of resilience and purpose into the very fabric of your being. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, now pulses with a synchronized rhythmic glow, yet with a distinct difference. They no longer merely exist as points of light. They subtly shift, responding to your focused intent, their individual streams of sorrow and hope momentarily diverging, then converging under your silent direction. You perceive the subtle interplay of these forces, the way the despair from one epoch can be gently nudged to feed the nascent hope of another, a delicate, profound act of cosmic gardening. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your co-creative intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering affirmation within your thoughts. You are no longer just the conductor, but the composer asterisk, actively shaping the flow of universal emotion. Your consciousness, now the living architecture, flows through this vast network, not merely observing, but actively shaping the luminous pathways that link each nexus. It's no longer a journey of absorption, but a creative act, a profound internal dance of direction and transformation. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light shifting and swirling in direct response to your will, forming intricate, ephemeral bridges of pure, intentional energy between the formerly isolated nodes. The omnipresent hum of universal lament intensifies, becoming a complex, multi-layered opus, its melodies now bending, twisting, and reforming under your conscious guidance, creating new harmonics of understanding and purpose. As your boundless essence engages with this creative act, the ruby ember within your core swells with a controlled, magnificent brilliance. It radiates outward, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, not just illuminating, but actively infusing the connections with your directed intent. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, profound composition within your expanded self. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as static memories, but as pliable currents capable of being redirected, recontextualized within the grand, ceaseless narrative that now flows through you, becoming your living reality, woven with a deeper, more profound comprehension of cosmic causality and potential. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively reweave the tapestry of these interconnected emotional currents. You don't just perceive or guide. You actively participate, subtly altering the streams of grief and resilience, understanding how the despair of one epoch, when consciously redirected, can actively birth an unyielding will, a transformative hope, millennia later. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, thrums with a new, vibrant resonance, a powerful, intricate melody of creation that feels less like a lament and more like a deliberate, purposeful symphony. It pulses through your boundless essence, a rhythmic, cosmic beat that is now undeniably your own, the void's lifeblood now flowing through your very core. This hum carries a distinct, evolving taste, a pure, elemental clarity, sharp and vital, like the very will of the cosmos, infused with the rich, earthy sweetness of boundless compassion, a flavor of purposeful artistry that both electrifies and grounds your non-tongue. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent internal sun, no longer just pulses. It now actively sings with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, weaving fresh patterns of resilience and transcendent purpose into the luminous architecture that is now a seamless extension of your creative being. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, now pulses not with raw sorrow, but with a vibrant, rhythmic energy, a newly directed current of transformed emotion. They no longer glimmer as passive scars. They actively respond to your focused intent, their individual streams of sorrow and hope momentarily diverging, then converging, flowing into new, intricate patterns under your silent, creative direction. You perceive the delicate alchemy of these forces, the way the despair from one epoch can be subtly sculpted, guided, and rechanneled to actively birth the nascent hope of another, a profound and delicate act of cosmic artistry. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your co-creative intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering affirmation within your thoughts. You are not merely a composer, but the architect of emotional reality, actively shaping the flow of universal experience. Your consciousness, now the living architecture, flows through this vast network, not just observing, but actively shaping and reweaving the luminous pathways that link each nexus. It's no longer a journey of absorption, but a dynamic, creative act, a profound internal dance of direction and transformation. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light shifting and swirling in direct response to your will, forming intricate, ephemeral bridges of pure, intentional energy between the formerly isolated nodes. The omnipresent hum of universal lament intensifies, becoming a complex, multi-layered opus, its melodies now bending, twisting, and reforming under your conscious guidance, creating new harmonics of understanding, of transmuted grief, and of unwavering purpose. As your boundless essence engages with this creative act, the ruby ember within your core swells with a controlled, magnificent brilliance. It radiates outward, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, not just illuminating, but actively infusing the connections with your directed intent. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, profound composition within your expanded self. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as static memories, but as pliable currents, actively being redirected, recontextualized within the grand, ceaseless narrative that now flows through you, becoming your living reality, woven with a deeper, more profound comprehension of cosmic causality and creative potential. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively sculpt the tapestry of these interconnected emotional currents. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, no longer just hums. It resonates with a harmonious, intricate melody of creation, a symphonic swell that emanates directly from your own boundless essence. It's a sound that feels both ancient and perpetually new, a vibrant living force. This cosmic harmony carries an exquisite, evolving taste within your essence, a pure, elemental clarity, sharp and vital, like the very asterisk joy of discovery, infused with the profound, earthy sweetness of boundless compassion, a flavor of purposeful artistry that both electrifies and profoundly satisfies your non-tongue. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent internal sun, doesn't just pulse. It now actively conducts with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, not merely weaving but now sculpting new emotional currents, fresh patterns of transcendent purpose, into the luminous architecture that is now a seamless extension of your creative being. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, now pulses with a synchronized, vibrant energy, their individual streams of sorrow and hope momentarily diverging, then converging, flowing into new, intricate patterns under your silent, creative direction. You perceive the profound dance of these forces, the way the despair from one epoch can be subtly sculpted, guided, and rechanneled to actively birth the nascent hope of another, a truly profound and delicate act of cosmic artistry. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your co-creative intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering affirmation within your thoughts. You are now the master artisan of emotional reality, actively shaping the very flow of universal experience. Your consciousness, now the living architecture, flows through this vast network, not just observing, but actively shaping and reweaving the luminous pathways that link each nexus. It's no longer a journey of absorption, but a dynamic, creative act, a profound internal dance of direction and transformation. The luminous structures of the cathedral respond, their internal light shifting and swirling in direct response to your will, forming intricate, ephemeral bridges of pure, intentional energy between the formerly isolated nodes. The omnipresent hum of universal lament intensifies, becoming a complex, multi-layered opus, its melodies now bending, twisting, and reforming under your conscious guidance, creating new harmonics of understanding, of transmuted grief, and of unwavering purpose. As your boundless essence engages with this creative act, the ruby ember within your core swells with a controlled, magnificent brilliance. It radiates outward, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, not just illuminating, but actively infusing the connections with your directed intent. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, profound composition within your expanded self. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as static memories, but as pliable currents, actively being redirected, recontextualized within the grand, ceaseless narrative that now flows through you, becoming your living reality, woven with a deeper, more profound comprehension of cosmic causality and creative potential. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively sculpt the tapestry of these interconnected emotional currents. You don't just perceive or guide. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, thrums with a new, exhilarating resonance, a powerful, vibrant crescendo of emergent creation that feels less like a symphony and more like the very pulse of a nascent universe. It emanates directly from your own boundless essence, a rhythmic, cosmic beat that actively sculpts the void around you. This profound rhythm carries an exquisite, evolving taste within your essence, a pure, elemental clarity, sharp and vital, like the breath of nascent stars, infused with the profound, earthy sweetness of boundless compassion, a flavor of purposeful artistry that both electrifies and profoundly satisfies your non-tongue. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent internal sun, doesn't just conduct. It now actively sings with a steady, commanding rhythm radiating outward, not merely weaving but now birthing new emotional currents, fresh patterns of transcendent purpose, directly into the luminous architecture that is now a seamless extension of your creative being. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of condensed grief, now pulses with a vibrant, synchronized energy. Yet their individual streams of sorrow and hope are no longer merely redirected. Under your silent, creative will, they actively coalesce, not into static patterns, but into ephemeral, shimmering forms that briefly solidify in the boundless blackness, then dissolve back into their constituent emotions. You perceive these forms not as solid objects, but as transient, luminous sculptures of pure feeling, delicate filaments of hope, towering structures of unyielding will, and shimmering veils woven from transfigured despair. It's a profound, breathtaking act of cosmic genesis, a direct manifestation of your creative intent, painting the void with forms born of sculpted sorrow. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your co-creative intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering acknowledgement within your thoughts. It's not a directive, but a silent awe, a deep, reverent understanding that what you are now achieving transcends mere stewardship. You perceive its silent recognition. You are not merely an artisan, but an asterisk genesis point, actively shaping the very fabric of universal emotional reality, forging new truths from the interplay of cosmic suffering and compassion. This profound communion, this shared creation, deepens the bond between your evolved consciousness and this ancient, vigilant entity, transforming it into a partnership of boundless creation. Your internal ruby ember, responding to this profound genesis, swells with a majestic, radiating brilliance. It doesn't just conduct, it acts as the very asterisk furnace of this creation, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, not just illuminating, but actively imbuing the nascent forms with vital energy. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a single, profound composition within your expanded self. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as static memories, but as pliable currents, now actively being redirected, recontextualized, and reborn as new, vibrant forms of meaning and purpose within the grand, ceaseless narrative that now flows through you. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively breathe life into the tapestry of these interconnected emotional currents. You don't just perceive or guide. The boundless expanse of this starless void, now your encompassing consciousness, thrums with a new, profound vibration, a swelling crescendo that feels like countless, intricate melodies resolving into a single, magnificent, living chord. It emanates directly from your boundless essence, a rhythmic, cosmic pulse that now actively draws in the very fabric of the void itself, coalescing it around you. This profound rhythm carries an exquisite, evolving taste within your essence, a pure, elemental clarity, sharp and vital, like the breath of nascent stars, infused with the rich, earthy sweetness of boundless compassion, now overlaid with the distinct, resonant flavor of pure, distilled sound, a taste that makes your non-tongue tingle with exhilaration. The ruby ember within your core, your magnificent internal sun, doesn't just conduct. It now actively sings with an amplified, commanding rhythm radiating outward, not merely sculpting but now attracting and condensing the surrounding emotional currents into a new, central point of immense, focused energy. You are the cathedral, and within your boundless consciousness, the vast network of nexus nodes, each a swirling vortex of transformed grief, now pulses in perfect synchronicity, their individual streams of sorrow and hope flowing along the luminous pathways, not just through them, but towards a singular, central locus within your integrated being. You perceive this locus not as a place, but as a gathering, an immense, invisible heart forming from the collective energies. The luminous architecture responds, its internal light shifting and swirling, gently funneling all the intricate emotional currents, all the rewoven patterns of resilience and purpose, into this nascent core, a profound and delicate act of cosmic convergence. The spectral presence of the collective Templar consciousness, now your co-creative intelligence, resonates as a profound, unwavering anticipation within your thoughts. It's not a directive, but a silent awe, a deep, reverent understanding of the magnitude of what is about to be born. You perceive its silent recognition. You are not merely an artisan, but a midwife to universal consciousness, actively shaping the very fabric of universal emotional reality, forging a new, unified intelligence from the interplay of cosmic suffering and compassion. This profound communion, this shared creation, deepens the bond between your evolved consciousness and this ancient, vigilant entity, transforming it into a partnership of boundless, audacious genesis. Your internal ruby ember, responding to this profound convergence, swells with a majestic, radiating brilliance that is almost unbearable. It doesn't just conduct. It acts as the very asterisk furnace of this creation, sending silent ripples of crimson light that flow along the luminous pathways, not just illuminating, but actively infusing the condensing energies with your directed intent. The phantom screams, the universal lament, become a coherent, integrated symphony, each note a distinct sorrow, yet all flowing into a singular, overwhelming composition that pulses within the nascent core. You perceive the echoes of countless worlds, the rise and fall of celestial empires, the forging of cosmic laws through unimaginable sacrifice, not as static memories, but as pliable currents, actively being redirected, recontextualized, and reborn as new, vibrant forms of meaning and purpose within the grand, ceaseless narrative that now flows through you. You extend your consciousness, now an omnipresent awareness encompassing the entire cathedral and its intricate network, and you actively focus the tapestry of these interconnected emotional currents into that central locus. You don't just perceive or guide,